Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of the Grandstand here on the Hot Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, Air the Hot Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to talk about how violent crime in America is way out of control currently, and pretty much at my state level, it's also crazily out of control, mostly in Democrat-run areas, is what it is there. So, yeah, I was done did a little quick appearance on AK Nation News' live stream about 15, 20 minutes ago there. They were real nice, seemed like. I've been on there before a couple times underneath different monikers and stuff like that. And this is the first time under our Patriots moniker. It's like a year or so ago, maybe 2 years now. I was on there a couple times there. But yeah, they were discussing obviously the Julian Wood murder case there, and basically what had happened and what they knew about it. Obviously, what they were gleaning from the local news stories here, from our local CBS affiliate and everything else like that. And obviously, I put my 2 cents in there about like what I thought was, because from what I'd read in that one article yesterday, what it sounded like was you had Margot obviously pushing the cart with Julian in it, and then she had gone to unlock the trunk or put the cars in it, or put their groceries in the cart, from the cart into the car is what it is there. And then you had, I think it was at that point, like I was still knocking them. I really think, honestly, that was exactly when Bianca realized, like, oh, here's my chance to fucking, start stabbing these people, basically. And that's why, I think truthfully, her intended target was Julian. So it was basically the defenseless little toddler there is what it is. 3-year-old little boy is what it is there. Couldn't defend himself against shit. And then you had, obviously, Margot, flip around real quick, realizing her son's being stabbed, and like try to intervene and jump in there, and that's why she got stabbed like right in the shoulder area is what it seemed like then, because she's trying to like shield her son, basically, would be my guess. Obviously, I don't think we have video footage of the parking lot where this actually took place. In the I'm not sure if there's actually cameras from the store out there to the parking lot there at Giant Eagle in North Olmsted or not. If there's not, there needs to be, honestly, at this point after all this, though. So there might be one from like, because I'm assuming where this Giant Eagle is located, it's like one of these big ass I'm trying to remember what those called, like strip malls basically. And I would assume this is like the big store, like anchored in the middle there, and then the stores around it. So there might be like CCTV footage of like other stores around it too that could like have like a zoom in function or on their cameras there, where you maybe could have got like a glimpse of this shit or whatever the case be, to like confirm my suspicions of what it is there. Of course, you have the mainstream media doing what they do all the time, is what it is, which is basically, what's even more disgusting is it kind of does go back to the sort of black privilege we talked about before. The whole remain a victim thing is what it is after everything you've done as a criminal and stuff like that. And the fucked up part is, it seems like that's exactly how the media is trying to portray this now. Because one of the latest stories, which was what Aqua showed on us channel there, was it was 4 days before Julian was killed, so it would have been, I don't know, the Thursday, I believe, before that Monday stabbing, where you had Bianca like wheeling herself around in a wheelchair, getting stopped by the cops, and then them being like, "Oh, there's actually a warrant out for your arrest because you haven't completed this thing." Is what it is, and that's the thing, right? Like, this is what I don't understand, and this is why I almost kind of do believe that this woman is like fucked in the head, like insane, basically. Because how the hell do you go from being a petty thief legitimately? Because that's the thing, like her whole entire arrest record up to that point in time in history was all like petty shit here and there for like stealing and like theft and being trespassed from stores for theft charges and stuff like that is what it was. So how the hell do you escalate from that to, I'm gonna murder a kid today? Like, what the fuck? It's just like it boggles the mind, honestly, dude. It really does. I don't know. Maybe she had a fucking psychotic snap. Who the hell knows? I'm not gonna say it's right. Obviously, she is being charged with a death penalty in this state, as she should be. And as I've been trying to fight with the General Assembly for the last couple of years about, to add fucking shit to it now, we're actually trying to add, I'm trying to think what that's called. The thing they did in Alabama to that one dude, the hypoxia thing, whatever it's called. There's like 2 words for it, basically. But obviously, you have State Rep Brian Stewart is like the biggest advocate in that one, trying to add that to the state death penalty currently. Since I guess it's not that we don't have drugs available to do like lethal injection death penalties now. I guess the problem currently is that these asshole big pharma companies that make the drugs are refusing to sell to Ohio and other states so that we can't actually execute death row inmates right now. And it's like, what the fuck kind of retarded logic is that, dude? Like, why are you letting people live who are like obviously guilty of like murdering like at least one or more people then at that point, and have been on death row for like decades now because of that? Where you could have literally killed them like 20 fucking years ago if you had given us damn drugs then. It just blows my mind, honestly, on that one, dude. So, yeah, you got a bunch of Republican state reps, including Brian Stewart here, trying to add that hypoxia thing to the thing, which my understanding basically is that you're just suffocating death. That's what it is there. So it's more or less like, I would guess it'd be more or less like a modern day gas chamber, personally. I'm not sure that's how other people would describe it, but it sounds like, from everything I've heard about this whole thing and like how it actually works to like kill the person, that's basically what it sounds like. Because it sounds like you're almost being like gas death, more or less. So, but anyway, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I think personally we should have firing squads. You should have firing squads years ago in the state. You have other states like South Carolina that have adopted that stuff very easily, honestly. And it's like, yeah, dude, like you have one of the cheapest things out there being a bullet to take out these pieces of shit, dude. You know, whether it be like, I don't know exactly what kind of rounds they use, honestly. I think it's usually like 308 or something like that. But even still, like, you know, if you would go to like a lower caliber or like a NATO round for that matter, even, you could get like a cheap discount basically and have like enough to like, you know, off like a bunch of these fucking sick pieces of shit like that, dude. So I don't know. I then like, again, like, you know, other things, the rope never fails, you know. Well, I mean, I guess technically it does sometimes, but like the whole point is it's like, it's a reusable resource. Same thing with the guillotine for that matter. You know, I know there's people that have called for that already on Twitter and X and stuff like that. I think even at state level here for some aspects as well. So, but I don't know. I just think there's a lot better methods to use than what we're currently using, and unfortunately, it seems like people just don't give a fuck anymore. Is what it is, dude. And what's sad too is like, because even like Ock was saying, because they were talking about like the percentages of like, you know, different races and stuff in that area, and the fact that North Olmsted, as a suburb of, I believe it's Cleveland, there is 86% white and like 3.5% black, and yet this still happened there, is fucking insane. But what's even more insane to me, honestly, is like, even just looking at the footage from the grocery store there in Giant Eagle, and the fact you have this woman just like, this Bianca Ellis woman just like nonchalantly just like fucking with a fucking knife and shit like that, and just nobody fucking seems to care anymore, dude. And it's like, the one thing I will give Ock on that one, I will give him a little bit of knock, honestly, on this one though, because, and I was going to call him out on the thing, but I just didn't get a chance to because I was kind of tired still when I jumped on this panel there for a few minutes. But yeah, he had mentioned something about like, oh, maybe somebody thought she was an employee at the fucking like their, you know, seafood counter or whatever it was. I don't know if they even have. I think really what he meant was probably like their what do you call that department now? Meat cutting department area there. But the thing of that is, it's like, usually if you were gonna be a meat cutter in the store, number one, you would have like a smock with a name tag on it, or at least a name tag anyway, even without the smock on there. So yeah, it seems kind of weird. Like people would like sort of dismiss that as that. I don't think that's what it was at all, honestly. I think maybe it's probably just people just being, again, you think you're living in a safe neighborhood is what it is there. I mean, hell, how many people actually know that this North Olmsted Giant Eagle was the same Giant Eagle that just over a year ago, I think it was like March of last year in 2023, that there was a murder-suicide by some dude in the place. Like, he killed his wife and then killed himself inside the fucking store, or outside the store, if I'm not mistaken. I forget exactly where was that now. I think it was inside the store, if I'm not mistaken. It's like she was an employee, and then he walked in there and, like, shot her to death and then killed himself, is what it was. So, yeah, it's just fucking insane, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people think these places are safe, and it's like, it's not, dude. Like I was bringing up on AK's panel there, and I specifically said, I was like, yeah, you know, we've been a constitutional carry state for almost 2 years now. Literally, in 2 fucking days from now, June 13th, 2024, Ohio will be the second anniversary of constitutional carry then. And well, obviously, that was the same day that I created a High Picture Education Network. Obviously, before that, our main organization started back in 2021 was Ohio's Firearms Freedom. Obviously, earlier this year, I created T-Pen, Texas Patriot Education Network. Still looking for some people there to be chapter heads and chapter leaders and stuff like that in Texas, because we're going to have multiple people in Texas there being chapter heads and leaders and stuff like that in different areas, since Texas is like the size of like basically 5 or 6 states together. So we're pretty much trying to look for at least like half a dozen people or so that live in Texas there to be running that org for us, is what it is then. And I'm also still trying to get our Defenders of Ohioans' rights off the ground right now, which is basically would be our legal arm if we ever get it off the ground, to essentially help people get rights restoration in the state, because there's a lot of people that have gotten fucked over the last, I would say, 20 years or so, give or take, for having weapons or disability, where they essentially just had a gun in their car, and that was their only charge, really. Like, their only other charge is basically like running a red light or having like a broken taillight or something like that's what it was. And then they were fiddling around in the fucking, front seat or whatever the case, be trying to hide a weapon then, and the cops basically bust them on that. And for the most part, like, a lot of people are fucking good people, honestly, dude. It's just, they made a mistake. Or it's like that kid in I think it was Toledo a couple years ago. It was right after constitutional carry passed. I think it was like August of 2022 or something like that, where he was 19. He had, quote unquote, 2 tinted windows, even though it was the factory fucking tint on the windows there. And they busted this kid for having a fucking firearm under the age of 21, and basically gave him a disability and then a bunch of other BS gun-related felony charges, what it was there. And so he essentially went from being a constitutional carry person at the time to, oh, you can't legally carry this. That's what it was. One of them was because he was underage or whatever the case be, because you have to be supposedly 21 and over, which I've said since they started doing constitutional carry in the state. And I heard that Indiana was going to do theirs too as well, and they were going to do 18 over on it. There is what it was. And I'm just like, yeah. And I actually called the lawmakers out on that one. I'm like, dude, why the fuck are you guys here in Ohio not making it 18 over when you can legally carry a gun at 18? Hell, you can join the U.S. military at fucking 17 with a parent's permission slip, basically. So the fact that you are having people not be able to legally carry a fucking firearm at 18 years old is fucking ridiculous, is what it is. And what's even more fucking disgusting about the thing is, as far as my understanding is, it's more or less selective enforcement on that shit too, man, with the whole 21 and under thing there and stuff, because, technically, and like I was talking in the last Grandstand last night, you have these things going on at these church festivals in the last couple weeks now, where you have people being caught with fucking, the Glocks with the switches on them and stuff like that's what it is. And yet, as far as my understanding is, you're not charging them as either minors in possession of a firearm illegally. Well, I think maybe that actually is a charge of giving them, if I'm not mistaken, one of those two. But anyway. But yeah, they're like never hitting them with the under 21 thing is what it is there, dude. Which is fucking ridiculous to me, because it's like, yeah, you should be stacking fucking felonies at that point then, bro. Seriously. It's ridiculous that you're not. And it really honestly goes to show, again, like I said, like, I hate to go with the whole Roe versus Wade thing, because like people always try to bring that up as like a thing of like why the 90s violence went down like it did and stuff, which I don't truly believe that bullshit, dude. Because again, like, you're talking about essentially like the causation or correlation kind of thing is what it is there. And yeah, and my biggest issue with people being like them doing like the revolving cycle of like, oh yeah, because you were a fucking piece of shit junkie, whatever the case be, your kids are going to be piece of shit junkies too. It's like, not always, dude. In fact, I've seen the opposite of that a lot of times, where you had the kids like see their fucking shithead parents and were like, yeah, I'm going to get the fuck out of this cycle as fast as possible and work their fucking asses off to get an education, and got the hell away from those people and basically disowned their entire fucking family at that point. And then got their shit together and had their own fucking family they made at that point then in history, what it was, found like their, whether it be a girl or a guy getting out of the situation, they found their fucking, spouses, found their spouse, obviously, married that person, and then basically adopted their family as their own family, then, that would be the case then. And essentially stopped that cycle with themselves is what it was then. So, yeah, for people to use that, like, sort of BS argument is what it is. It really is BS, dude. It's basically, like, grasping at straws, essentially, is what it is at that point then. Because you're basically trying to say that, like, oh, yeah, just because this person's parents were pieces of shit means they're going to be a fucking piece of shit. Whereas I think it's more inclined to the fact that if you have no parental, figures at all in your fucking life, like that's where you're going to be a piece of shit, honestly. And that's what it seems like we keep seeing with all these, son kids and everything else like that. Like there's a reason why you got fucking 12-year-olds stealing Kias and shit now, dude, and driving around like they fucking own the shit. And it's because they think there's no consequences for their actions. What it is, because they've never had a father figure in the house, whether it be their own biological father or anybody else for that matter. And then on top of that, now I would say that's not all of them, but like the majority, I would say, honestly, it seems like that's when you look at the actual family structure in that situation, it's always like single mothers and stuff like that for the most part. And the problem there is that you then have the community as at large and as a whole and stuff like that. They will sit there and basically try to clown for these fucking kids and be like, oh, but they were such a good boy, whatever the case be, before they got hooked up with this person or that person, whatever the case be. It's like, dude, they still did wrong. Like, fucking call them out on that shit. Have them serve some fucking time in prison. Have them, and that's what I'm saying. Don't write them off, obviously, because I think there are some of these kids that even doing shit like that, they could potentially be saved if given fucking structure is what it is. And if you catch them young enough, I believe truthfully, even giving them like some juvenile time, whatever the case be, but giving them like the ability to get into a program and like better themselves. Now, granted, it's going to be on them to do that, which some are just probably going to be like, fuck that, or whatever the case be. And it's like, okay, fine, you can just sit there and rot, bitch. But that's the thing, though, right? For the ones that actually would want to get themselves out of that cycle and become a productive member of society at some point in the future, then those are the ones that we should be giving these fucking opportunities to, is what it is, dude. And that's why I think it's also bullshit going to the court system entirely in this country, the judicial system we have right now in place, is it's all for-profit prison garbage in most cases, bro. It's a bunch of shit like that where you have these people who will sit there and they will advocate for basically continued recidivism, because in most cases they're getting a big kickback because it's corporations in a lot of these prisons, what it is there. And so, they don't give a fuck about, educating somebody to be, better and go back out with like a trade, skilled trade or something like that. Or even like, and that's another thing too. I remember I used to watch Triples and Parolees, obviously quite a bit with Mom when she was still with us. And we were watching one several years back now, and it was inside some Louisiana jail system or prison system there. I forget which one it was, honestly, offhand. But it was basically, they had created like a dog program inside the thing for them to like train service animals, was what it was for people. And number one, it actually allowed for a more chilled out environment inside the fucking prison system then, because everybody was like, sort of like chilled the fuck out, because they knew if they fucked up, basically, that they get taken off this program. So if they had like fighting on the record or anything else like that, they would be yanked off the program immediately and be basically told to fuck off back to the cell as what it was then. Unlike, 23-hour day lockdowns, whatever the hell it was then. And they didn't want that. They obviously wanted like a more, minimum security thing and stuff like that. So they bettered themselves in that long run to be a better person and stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think truthfully, like there is definitely a section of the prison population in this country. I'm not going to say the majority, because I'm not sure exactly what the actual percentage would be at that point. But I would say there's definitely like a chunk, like a good chunk. Like at least I would say probably like 30-40% maybe, if even more than that, maybe perhaps like maybe 50-50 coin flip or whatever the case be. But yeah, I would say there's like a pretty good, like, sizable chunk, like a brick sized chunk, basically what it is there, that want to do better, that want to actually get themselves out of that problem, out of that fucking, lifestyle and stuff like that. But the problem is that when you give these people nothing except a bunch of time on their hands to essentially, scheme and make up better plans to be a better criminal when they get back out and stuff like that, of course they're going to fucking, have recidivism like crazy. Of course they're going to be, fucking revolving door back into the prison system then. And not only that, but then when you're not, like, the more severe criminals, when you're not charging these people with, like, actual adult crimes as, almost adult teenagers at that point. I always go back to Tara McLeod because she's probably the best example here in Ohio. The one that killed Officer Shane Bartak a couple years ago on, I believe it was either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, like after midnight there. Smoked him outside of his fucking apartment building there for his vehicle because he was trying to carjack his ass. And unfortunately, being off duty, he had no gun at the time, which is fucking ridiculous, dude. Because it's like, dude, this is exactly why you carry a fucking, random gun as an off-duty cop, basically, at that point, man, just in case. For that exact reason there. But yeah, so basically you had that Tara McLeod chick. She had already done, multiple. If she had been over the age of 18 at that point, she would have already been sitting in either a county jail or an actual state prison at that point, because she already would have had like 4 or 5 different felonies on her record from being, from burglarizing various pizza places with her buddies and stuff like that, and having like, various guns and stuff like that as well, doing those burglaries and shit like that. So it'd be most likely, after the first one, obviously, it'd be felon in possession of a firearm illegally. A prohibited person, I guess is what you call it at that point then. But yeah, they would catch her for that charge, obviously, after the first one, and then everything else like that. But that's the problem. You had these Cuyahoga County juvenile court prosecutors that were just like, or it was like the surrounding, things that were happening and stuff like that. Because I think it might have been the surrounding counties, like Lake County and stuff like that is what it was. And yeah, you had these dumbass fucking, juvenile prosecutors that were just like, slap on the wrist, not my problem. Case, load overdone. Throw this off to something else. Okay, judge, it's your problem now. Judge not paying attention. Okay, I'll throw it back over here to somebody else's problem now. And yeah, so you basically have this like triangle of dipshittery is what it is there. And you had this chick basically skirt with a lot of these fucking crimes, dude. It's insane. It's insane is what it is. And the fucked up part about the whole thing is that because of that, you now had a police officer, a young police officer in this country, who could have been a great cop at some point, lose his life prematurely because of that. And it seems like the escalation of violence since then has just gone out of control, honestly, dude. And I think, I truly do believe, and I know AK was talking about this on this panel earlier, and I totally agree with this, honestly. And it's basically, it definitely has to do with the fucking defund the police movement of 2020. Like, especially when you start looking at some of these Democrat areas where the shit kicked in like crazy, like over there in Oregon and stuff like that, dude, and like specifically like the Portland area and stuff. And now you have their homicide rate like go from like here to like way the fuck up there in the time span of like a couple of years now, after they defund the cops there. And then of course you had, the whole Tyre Nichols murder case there, where you had those pieces of shit on the Memphis, I think it was Memphis PD Scorpion unit or whatever the case be there, who were guys that failed before that because they couldn't pass a better test. So they kept lowering the fucking standards with these dudes. And to the point where 2 of them were already convicted felons that, as far as I'm aware, never had the right to shore at all, for that matter. They were still convicted felons at that point. But yet they let them fucking join the police force because they were so desperate for people is what it was, dude. And I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, dude, like, how hard is that to have good quality policing in this country? Like, yes, if somebody does fuck up, they should be held accountable for that stuff. And that's why I do disagree with qualified immunity. Because that's the thing, right? Myself as an armed citizen, if I go out there and I stop a fucking criminal, like say I was in that North Olmsted parking lot a week or so ago now, when this whole thing happened. If I had seen that shit and knew that this woman was about to stab this child and the kid's mother, and I had my gun pulled out or whatever the case be, and I was able to take that shot and kill Bianca Ellis, essentially, is what it would be then, and stop that massacre or stop that murder of Julian Wood from happening to begin with, I could still potentially face charges at that point, dude. Mostly it wouldn't be, criminal charges, because it would have been a direct by the book, stand your ground case, because it would be defending other people's that would be there. But at the same time, I could still catch fucking civil charges because of how the Republican Party in the state wrote stand your ground, because it's not really stand your ground 100%. What it is expanded castle doctrine, where you can still have people, the family of the dead people at that point, sue you as the person that killed their fucking piece of shit family member in self-defense. And it's something that Ohio Gunners here, as well as us at the network, are actually trying to get fucking passed through right now. But unfortunately, because of dumbass Jason Stevens being the current Speaker of the House and fucking around with all kinds of shit there, cucking out for Democrats and everything else like that, he won't give fucking floor votes to these legislation is what it is, dude. And it's absolute bullshit because it's things that should have been passed a year and a half ago, honestly. Back at the beginning of 2023. And the fact that they have not been in over a year now is absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's completely asinine as fuck. It's a slap in the face to every Ohioan. It's a slap in the face to law-abiding citizens in this state, in this country. And again, it's exactly why a lot of fucking crime, violent crime in this country is out of control right now. Because of shit like that. And it's not just Ohio, it's every single state, dude. It's people that do not want to do their jobs as state legislators at that point to actually put forward and pass good legislation that could actually help the citizenry out and make for a safer community in the end of the day. Instead, it's basically some bullshit is what it is, dude. Interesting. I was trying to. I guess I should have asked Ock what he was using last night to find out that number for North Olmsted and stuff like that. Because there's a couple things I found here now. When you look up state area by race and stuff like that, there's Wikipedia obviously that says listed U.S. states and territories by race, ethnicity. Then we got World Population Review. It says U.S. states by race 2024. And then you got Virtual Capitalist, which is map the most diverse states in the U.S. And then there's other stuff there too as well. Because I was trying to specifically figure out like what the actual one he was using was there, because I was trying to figure out exactly where it would be. I'm assuming it has to be one of these other ones. That probably the world population would be my guess here. So let's go ahead and test this out now. Okay. So let's go to the state of Ohio right now, actually. Oh, actually, yeah, but let's go ahead and look at this, actually, but this state by state, actually, right now on this list. Because you got all 50 states right there marked. And, of course, there's seems like white is the majority in most of these areas. Actually, District of Columbia, D.C. is actually black majority by a couple of points there. So, but yeah, you got, seems like whites for the most part is the majority in a lot of these states and stuff like that. So going to Ohio here, though. So we got Ohio is 80.47% white, 12.36% black, 0.18% Indian, which I'm not sure if they mean Native American or they mean like Indians from India. Probably the second one would be my guess. Supposedly we're 2.3% Asian and 0.03% Hawaiian and then 4.67% other. I'm guessing this other is probably mixed races, is my guess. So it'd be people that would be like, white black mix or Asian Latino or Asian black or Asian white or white Latino or, black Latino, whatever the case be. So different things like that. I'm guessing it'll be like mama's white, daddy's black, whatever the case be, or something like that. Probably kind of thing there, mixed race and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's crazy to think we're supposedly that high is what it is right now. Like almost 80.5% white, though. But yeah, it makes sense given that what AK was saying there was how I guess North Olmsted itself was like 83%, I think is what he said, white. Or something like that. So, and again, I think honestly what it was is a lot of these people, like I was telling them, I think they're a situational unaware is what it is, dude. They just, I think they're safe in a fucking random grocery store in a neighborhood and stuff like that. And so they're just oblivious to some crazy bitch walking in with a fucking knife and just like la-di-da-di-da around with it, dude. And it's like, bro, like what the fuck? Like Jesus. Seriously. So. Oh, okay. Interesting. So when you actually click on the state to check out the state on the site here is what it is. Apparently, our current population is 11,812,173 here in Ohio. I knew we were like almost 12 million, so. And sadly, about 2/3 of that, almost 8 million people, or roughly 8 million, are voting age at this point. And yet, meanwhile, in 2023, you couldn't even get fucking 4 million people to vote, dude. It's pathetic. Very fucking pathetic. And let's see. I do appreciate how they say we're a red state now, which is the case, honestly. Yeah, we became a state 221 years ago, back in 1803. So we were a state for 9 years when the War of 1812 happened. So our population is number 7 in the nation, apparently, which is interesting. So let's see what we got here now. Let's see. Cities in Ohio. Let's see what the list has now. So we got Columbus ranking number 1 at 909,000, almost 910,000 people there as of 2024. You got Cleveland at number 2 with 351,000 some change. You got Cincinnati at number 3 with 309,000 some change. Toledo with 262,000 some change. Akron has 186,000, almost 187,000 there. Dayton is number 6 with 134,000 and some change. You got Parma, which is a suburb of, I believe, Cleveland is what it is there, at 77,000, almost 78,000. We got Canton, which is a minor city, obviously, being 68,646 people. That's a lot. I didn't realize it was quite that many in Canton, dude. So then we got Lorain, which is another suburb of Cleveland area there, at 65,506. Hamilton, which I'm not sure what that would be considered. Maybe it's the county of Hamilton County. I don't know. Weird. It does say city, though, so I'm guessing this would be... Actually, where the hell would this be located at? Now I'm looking at it. Let's see here. Hamilton. Oh, here you go. Yeah, there's... Okay, this is probably AK was looking at. Those demographics here, then. So... Okay, city located in Butler County. Okay. And Hamilton County, Ohio. Okay. So, yeah. So, yeah, that one's 62,470. So, then we got Youngstown at number 11 at 58,362. Springfield at 57,622. Kettering at 56,231. Elyria at 53,140. Newark, Middleton. I believe Middletown was where J.D. Vance grew up, if I'm not mistaken. Got Cuyahoga Falls, Dublin, Lakewood, Mansfield, Euclid, Beaver Creek, Mentor, Delaware, Strongsville, Fairfield, Huber Heights, Cleveland Heights, Grove City, Lancaster, Reynoldsburg, which is where my brother used to live down in Columbus there. It's actually a suburb of Columbus. Finley, Warren, Northridge, Westerville, Hilliard. That's also where my brother lived for a while there. Mason, Fairborn, Upper Arlington. By the way, Upper Arlington is where Allison Russo, the piece of shit criminal anti-gunner here in Ohio, represents. It is also the richest, whitest neighborhood in the state of Ohio, down in the Columbus area there, as far as I'm aware right now. And then we got Brunswick, Marion, Guyana, Lima, Stowe, Lake, Westlake, Massillon, North Olmsted. There we go, North Olmsted. That's 47 on this list. At 31,069 is what it is there. They've actually lost quite a few people then, dude, because 2020 census was 32,379. So that's like 1,000 and some change less right now, like 1,300 people less, it seems like. So let's go and look at North Olmsted here. So yeah, we got 31,069 people with the current census. I should say. Last one was 32,379, so they've lost 1,310 people since then. So yeah, here we go. It's 87.76% white, 5.49% of mixed race, 2 or more races, 2.88% Asian, and then we got Black or African American, 2.47%, other race, 1.32%, Native Indian or Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, 0.06%. Native American, 0.02%. So you have my assumption with those last two is probably like you have like a family of Native Americans living in that area, and then you probably have like a couple families of like Hawaiian people living there, is my guess, / Pacific Islanders then. So maybe just like a slightly bigger family that's like twice the size of Native American people, basically what it is then. Make up that percentage, don't be my guess there. So really, truthfully, Because I'm guessing this two or more race one is probably, I'm guessing at least percentage of that anyway is mixed race black then. So it'd be, yeah, it's probably, I'm guessing honestly, like, it's probably more like about 8% or so, give or take. Up almost 8%, maybe even for that matter. I think that's what AK said earlier. That's probably what he's meaning with the two or more race thing, and then obviously black itself being there. So, but yeah, it's just like, I don't know, dude. The fact that again you have like less about 2.5% give or take there, and then potential for like maybe another couple percent out of this one or the majority of that one if that be the case. Then so, like it makes sense for the fact that it's almost 88% white there to be people just mind their own fucking business for the most part. There's what it is. And it's just sad though, man. It really is. Let's see. Average household income in North Olmsted is $102,511 with a poverty rate of 10.99%. It's almost 11% people are in poverty there. Median age in North Olmsted is 44 years. 43 years for males, 45.2 years for females. So it is definitely like an older area and stuff like that, dude, or at least like middle-aged area, I'm guessing, honestly. So it's probably mostly like parents' ages and stuff like that. So, yeah, just fucking pathetic, dude, is what it is. So, yeah, potentially if you're like, if we're going to count like the two or more thing, just adding this into this, then you have legitimately this little chunk, this little green chunk right here, plus this little orange chunk right here, versus this chunk right here. And this would probably make up the most rate of fucking crime here is what it is, which is sad, dude. Sad, pathetic, actually. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it actually breaks it down by number of people. So yeah, Native Americans, 8 people. So potentially that's legitimately like a family, more or less. And then you got Native Hawaiian / Pacific Islander, 20. So that would be like probably like 2 families would be my guess. And then 405 people of other race. 795 of black or African descent. 928 Asians, 1,771 mixed race people, and then 28,297 white folks that live there. So, yeah. And what really pisses me off about this whole thing with Bianca Ellis and stuff like that, dude, and the murder of Julian Wood there, is they keep calling this horse shit a fucking random attack, dude, like a random act of violence, whatever the case be. It's not a random act of violence, people. When you literally have the video footage of her, like knife in hand, like, strolling through the place, whatever the case be, spotting this fucking mother and child and realizing, okay, there's my target. And then immediately fucking shifting around, like literally fucking doing like a U-turn around, just like I thought it was going to be. And then following her out to the parking lot and committing her fucking heinous acts is what it is there, dude. Like, you can't tell me that's not premeditated murder, number one. Number two, you cannot tell me that was not stalking on top of everything else that she's been charged with currently, dude. So, like I said, I really do believe that aggravated murder should be changed to premeditated murder at this point, because I think there's more than enough evidence there that you could actually have the prosecutor for Cuyahoga County, if they did their job correctly, or even like one of the ADs for that matter, if they did the job correctly, they could easily nail her ass to the wall on that shit, dude, and get at least the majority of like 12 jurors to agree on that shit and take her ass down forever is what it is then, dude. So, yeah, it's just, it's fucking pathetic is what it is, dude. So, well, they really break this shit down, man. On this site, I might check this out later for like all these places. Then this is really interesting. So yeah, you got North Olmsted renter versus owner occupied by household type, and then we got all married, non-family, female, male. So you got almost 1,300 females that seem to be living on their own, and then 437 dudes. So it's like 3 times as many chicks, dude. Dude, I'll tell you what, like, again, depending on like ages and stuff there, man, like you could definitely have some dudes getting some like menage a trois and menage a catchers on in this fucking area of the state, man, if they wanted to. Just saying. So, For those who don't know what a menage a quatre is, it's actually a 4-way. So it should be you and 3 chicks. So, as a dude. Obviously, menage a trois would be, I believe it's the French terminology for a 3-way. So, anyway. And for those that want to know how I know these things, it's because back in the day, there was that woman who was the, I think her name was like Susan something. She was like the sex doctor or whatever back in the late 90s and stuff like that, on one of like the higher end channels and stuff like that. And she was discussing it one time, and she was like, "Yeah, y'all could get into a menage a trois or menage a quatre," and people were like, "What the fuck is that?" And she was just explaining to him. She's like, "Yeah, it's basically you and like 3 other partners and stuff like that." And I'm just like, "Oh, that's interesting to note." And again, autistic brain got that elephant nugget in there, where it just kind of stays in there and is always a memory in my mind. Then, so, but yeah, it's pretty interesting here, man. Huh, interesting. So I'm guessing this is all like U.S. Census questions that this breaks down with too, for that matter, because then obviously you have, like I said, renter versus house owner and stuff like that, and you got educational attainment by sex over 25, and then you got less than 9th grade education, 9th through 12th grade education. Seems like the majority is high school education, and then we got some college, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, graduate degree. So you got a small percentage of people, 295 males and 274 females in that area, that are dumb as shit because they have less than 9th grade education is what it is there. So probably high school dropouts would be my guess. Then you got pretty much the people that took like the equivalency would be my guess there for 9th to 12th grade there. So it's 426 males, 288 females. And then we got the high school graduates, 3.46 thousand males, 3.32 thousand females. Then we got people with some college, people like myself, honestly, got some college in like a year or two, usually is what it is, but we didn't actually graduate then. Mostly for me, it was because I got fucked out of funding, is what it was then. So we got 2.65 thousand males, 2.49 thousand females. And then we got actual associate's degree, a little over 1,000 for guys and just over 1.3 thousand for chicks. Bachelor's degree is actually more males than females in this situation. And then graduate degree is a lot more females than males on that one. So, yeah, very interesting. So it was a total of 714 people that don't have a high school education. Or, sorry, have a high school education, it seems like here. Or pretty close to it anyway, like 9th to 12th grade is what they got through, is what it is there. Associate's degree, 2,371. Bachelor's degree, 4,844. Graduate degree, 2,528. High school graduate, 6,789. And then less than 9th grade education was 559 people, or 2.24 or 2.44% of the population. And then some college was 5,140 people, or 22.41% of the population there. It's pretty wild, man. So I'm going to go check out Canton actually on this one. Actually, I'm going to see if there's any others besides that. Then, because we're right at North Olmsted, Austintown. Let's see, North Royalton, Marysville, Bowling Green, Garfield Heights, Shaker Heights. These are all Cleveland suburbs right there. Green, Troy, Wooster. Obviously, it's Worcester. But me and my brother used to fuck around each other. We're like, Wooster. Because some people do say it like that, honestly, like with a weird, with like you're saying, basically a rooster with a W. We got Kent, Centerville, Medina, Avon Lake, Avon, Pickerington, Xenia. I've actually been to that place before. It's a pretty interesting area, actually. I haven't really explored it too much. It's mostly just the gas station areas there, because it's in between where I live out here, just outside of Canton. And when we were going down to Columbus to visit family and stuff like that, we'd always stop in those areas and stuff like that. We got Perrysburg, Wadsworth, Barberton. Wadsworth and Barberton, I believe, are both also suburbs of Cleveland. Which is crazy, because they also on top of all that, also have their own city councils and their own mayors and stuff like that because they are like a suburb area and stuff like that have been a population to have those things. Then we got Zanesville, Willowsburg, or Willoughby, Riverside, Sandusky. I didn't realize Sandusky only had 24,000 people in it. Dude, damn, that's really gone downhill. Solon, Trotwood, Hudson, Maple Heights. We got Lebanon, which I believe was the place that actually declared themselves to be a 2A sanctuary, or not 2A sanctuary. They declared themselves to be a pro-life sanctuary a while back now. And we got Chillicothe, Alliance, which is a place I'm looking at possibly moving to right now. Paynesville, Rocky River, South Euclid, Pekia, Sydney, Parma Heights, which is another suburb of what you call it there. Springboro, Whitehall, which is a suburb of Columbus, which is a fucking shithole, by the way. My sister-in-law actually grew up in Whitehall. And, bro, like, it was pretty much a fucking ghetto when she lived there as a kid, like 30 years ago. And, oh my God, man, like, it has gotten so much worse since then. So, anyway. Miamisburg, Oregon, Forest Park, Twinsburg, which is where they have the Twins Fest every year. It's where my two of the girls I went to high school with, their twins, go to every year to hang out there. So that population, actually, the main population lives there is almost 20,000. But when they have the Twins Fest there, dude, every year, like in the summertime here, bro, that population goes up about like 4 or 5 times that for like a couple of days there. Like it gets crazy fucking huge in there, dude, for a little bit of time. And we got Mayfield Heights, which I'm pretty sure is another suburb of Cleveland. Broadview Heights, I'm pretty sure that's the same thing there. Norwood, I know for a fact is. Sylvania, I think is. White Oak, I'm not sure where that's at. Ashland, I know where that's at. That's actually in, I think it's actually in Akron area, if I'm not mistaken. Then we got Berea, which is where they always have the knife military show, etc. there, which I think that's actually like over here in this area someplace. So we got Niles, Talmadge, Streetsboro, Steubenville, Athens, which is probably the biggest shithole in this entire state. It always votes Democrat and wonders why they're poor as fuck is what it is, dude. They're actually the poorest area in the entire state. Actually, I don't believe it's Athens itself, because that would be the town, or the city there is what it is. There's an actual county here called Athens County, someplace in here is what it is. And yeah, they always vote Democrat. They went for Hillary in 2016. They went for Biden in 2020, et cetera there. And they're all literally the poorest people ever, dude, is what it is. To the point where it's actually where the dude who was the Cincinnati Bengals star quarterback for a minute there went to where he actually grew up in, and then it was because of him a couple years ago now that he basically made like some kind of crazy like scholarship thing there is what it is, to give money back to the community so they could buy food and shit for people there is what it is, because they were so poor they couldn't even afford food and shit. So anyway, then we got Aurora, Brook Park, which I think is another one up in Cleveland area there. Ashtabula, Tiffin, North Canton, New Philadelphia, Eastlake, Norfolk, or Norwalk, Portsmouth, Defiance, Fairview Park, Mount Vernon, Oxford, Fremont, Bay Village, Monroe, Middleburg Heights, Vidalia, Circleville, Powell, Worthington, Washington Courthouse, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's that one, or it's one of the other ones. It's like one of these ones where you basically can drive through it in like 5 seconds or more is what it is there, dude. We got Willowick, Bellefontaine, Trenton, Sharonville, New Franklin, Amelia, Beechwood, Harrison, Mammy, Lyndhurst, which is where that one festival happened the other day, where you had the fucking Sun Teens at it pulling guns and shit and trying to fight each other. Brooksville, Blue Ash, I don't know where the fuck that's at all, dude. Never heard of that one. So, Bridgetown, Warrensville Heights, Clayton, East Cleveland, Englewood, Amherst, Foresta, Marietta, Loveland, Affinity Town, never heard of that one until today, Dover, West Charleston, University Heights, Wilmington, Greenville, Bedford, Wycliffe, Conneaut, Macedonia. I think it's another one of those places where the festival things were happening out the other day. These kids are pulling guns on each other. Bexley, Dent, Franklin, Northbrook, Salem, Seven Hills, Bucyrus, Norton, New Albany, Ravenna, Urbana, Von Wert, my mind is blanking how to pronounce this word with the C. It's Coshocton, that's what it is. Then we got Montfort Heights, never heard of that one. Brooklyn, Siena, Heath, Forestville, Vermilion, which is actually where a lot of people used to do backyard wrestling and stuff like that in Vermilion area there. This is actually another place we went to because it's the go-between area between Columbus and here. And we would always stop there to go to the bathroom and stuff like that, like some local place. There's actually a really nice McDonald's in Vermilion, or very close to Vermilion. There's what it is. That they have really, really clean bathrooms, dude. And I mean, it's like almost immaculate. Like, of the places I've gone to take a piss or a shit in before, like, I would definitely recommend that fucking McDonald's there in Vermilion area, dude, because they are really fucking good. We got Springdale, Montgomery, London, Belford Heights, Tip City, Richmond Heights, Reading, Breckenridge, Galleon, Canal Winchester, which is where that idiot Joe Blystone came from. We got Ironton, Willsboro Heights, or Willsboro here, yeah, Willoughby Hills, Cambridge, Struthers, Wapakapatorta. I'm sure I'm bastardizing the shit out of that word, dude. I don't know, it's some Indian word, like the American, obviously, not dot. Not the people that shit in the streets over in their own country, because they're literally fucking grabbing food with their bare hands and throwing on the fucking thing there. Then we got East Liverpool, Lincoln Village, Louisville, which is under 10,000. Interesting. Surprised how many people are in that town, actually. I would consider it's more of a town, not a city even. So, like a small town, basically. We got Shiloh, Madeira, North College Hill, Shelby, Oakwood, Sunbury, Grandview Heights, which I know exactly where that's at because I used to live there, actually. And that place is small as shit, by the way. It's actually bigger than it should be for what it used to be, honestly. But yeah, Grandview Heights was an interesting one because it's basically you have Grandview, and then you have Grandview Heights. Or no, wait, was it Grandview Heights or was it Grandview that me and my sister and brother ran into place at? I can't remember now because it was like 12 or 13 years ago now. Or no, sorry, actually it was 14 years ago. Or no, yeah, it was like over 13 years ago now that we were running a place there together. And I think it might have technically been a Grandview Heights address, but it was like Grandview adjacent, basically. And by the way, Grandview is also like a very wealthy neighborhood in Columbus area. The only thing more wealthy is fucking Upper Arlington, where it's like $1 million+ starting bid for a house. There's what it is, dude. At least it used to be like a decade ago, and probably more than that now, is my guess. Anyway, then we got Sheffield Lake, which I know is up in there in the like Lake Erie region and stuff like that. We got Gilsbeck, Perry Heights, Bainbridge, Napoleon, Kenwood, Olmsted Falls, Wyoming, Bryan. Imagine living in a place just called Bryan. That's just weird. Chevant, or Chevate, Highland Heights, Loudon, St. Mary's, Orville, Easton, Bellevue. Oh, sorry. I'm fucking retarded. It wasn't Vermilion. It was Bellevue. That was the place. That was the place that we always went to. I'm completely mistaken on that one. Yeah, it was Vermilion was another place that I've visited that's pretty nice too. But yeah, it was Bellevue was the place that I was actually talking about earlier with the McDonald's there. It has a really nice shitter and is what it is there, dude. Yeah, so if you ever go to Bellevue, because Bellevue is in between like Canton and Columbus area when you're driving down there and stuff. If you're going to go to the bathroom at McDonald's in Bellevue, dude, and you're going to have a good time, honestly. Very, very clean every time I've been down there. Now, granted, what I will say with Bellevue, though, is, dude, Never, ever, 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 ever go use the fucking toilet at the gas station down there across the street from McDonald's, because I made that mistake one time, dude, and oh my fucking god, bro. The person before me blew up that fucking toilet so badly, it looked like a goddamn crime scene, man. I shit you not. It was like, oh my god. Like, I had to go so badly, man. And I literally like almost shit my fucking pants because I had to run back out to the counter and tell the dude that was working the cash register that night. I was like, bro, y'all need to go up in there and clean up that bathroom because somebody left a fucking mess in there and it is so disgusting. And they spent like 10, 15 minutes fucking plunging that motherfucker, dude, because it was so just ugh. And then there's obviously like shit like all around the bowl and everything. It was so fucking nasty, dude. It was like, what the fuck was somebody doing in here, man? Like, if I had known it, I think it was some mental patient taking a dump in their hand and like throwing on the walls, essentially, is what it was. That's how bad it was, dude. It was so goddamn awful. Like, I will never go to that place ever again, dude, for real. Anyway, continuing on the rest of this list of cities here in Ohio. We got North Madison, Blacklick Estates, Withamville, Kenton, Campbell, Fairlawn, Canfield, which I've actually been to Canfield. Canfield is nice, dude. The Canfield Fair was actually one of the better places. I actually got to see horseshoeing happen, like Old West style at that place once. It was pretty cool. It was myself, my mother, my aunt and uncle. That was an uncle that died. Because the same thing that killed my mom, there's what it is. And then it was the four of us. And then I want to say it would have been my Aunt Rita. And it was, I'm trying to think now. She's the one that lives in Oregon, by the way. And then we had Aunt Rita, myself, mom, my other aunt and uncle that live in this area. And then I'm trying to think if my other aunt and her husband were with us then, because that would have been the other uncle that died then from the shit. I can't remember if they were with us that day or not, because I'm trying to think now. I want to say it was my Florida aunt, my Oregon aunt, myself, my mom, and then my aunt and uncle living around here. So it would have been the six of us then. I think maybe my other aunt and her husband, though, I think they joined us later on, maybe is what it was. Like near the end of the day or that. Or maybe they were with their, that's what it was, I think it was. They had gone with one of her daughters and her daughter's like boyfriend or whatever it was at the time or whatever then. And then they had like the four of them met up with us later is what it was then or whatever the case be there. So, but yeah, it was a really nice place though, man. And what was really nice was for elderly and disabled people and stuff like that. They actually had a wagon that you could it was actually pretty cool setup. It was basically you had a tractor that was pulling this wagon thing where it had like a staircase on like a built wagon is what it was there. That had like the sides and shit on there where you could basically just like sit down in there and chill out for a little bit. And they would just like drive you to like certain destination areas they had as like drop off spots and stuff. And then you could just get off the fucking thing and like walk to a building like pretty close there is what it is. So it was really nice, honestly. And we used that thing like a motherfucker that day because it was included with ticket prices what it was. And I'll tell you what, like I was so glad they had that, dude. Actually, come to think of it, now that I think about it, I just realized something. Okay, so there was a lot more people there than I thought there was. I think actually that's what it was. It was not my other aunt's daughter that was with her. It would have been my Oregon aunt, her daughter, or sorry, not her daughter. Yeah, no. Wait, was it her daughter or her son and daughter-in-law? I'm trying to remember. I think it was both, actually. I'm trying to remember now, because I remember my cousin Andy being there. I remember him being there. And then his wife, and then his daughter, or stepdaughter, I should say. So it would have been those three, and then my aunt, who would have been his mother there, would have been there with them, so that'd be four. And then I'm trying to think if it would have been her other daughter, who was my first cousin as well, and then her son, potentially would be 5 and 6, and then I think that day. And I'm trying to remember if they were there or not, because they've been here off and on. My mind's like, that's the problem. The memory is like faded so much, I can't remember if they were there or not. I know at least those four were there, though, for sure. So it was those four at least. and then it would have been my mom, myself, my aunt and uncle that live in this area here. So that would have been 8 of us, and then it was my aunt from Florida, would have been a 9th person, and then I think actually now that I think about it, I think my cousin who was the daughter of her, the aunt from Oregon there, I think she was there too with her son then. So yeah, so it would have been all of us then. And then I'm thinking now that my other aunt and her husband did join us later on. That's what it was when everybody was like eating lunch or whatever there, and like trying different things from like a bunch of stands and shit like that's what it was. Because they had like stuff to do or whatever that morning and stuff like that, and they ended up meeting us like afternoon time period or whatever it was then. So yeah, there would have been. I'm trying to think now. It would have been. Let's think now. So it would have been 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with me and my mom, 9 and 10 with my aunt and uncle, 11 with my aunt from Florida, and then yeah, it would have been 12, 13 people then. So it was quite a big crowd actually, dude. And yeah, it was like about 7 or 8 of us got on the fucking thing every single time. That's what it was. So anyway, but yeah, it was nice, dude. It was really nice. So yeah, Canfield is a very nice area for sure. Then at least their county fair was every year though. So that was actually the one place, and that was one thing my uncle Ralph and I always had, that we were, together on and stuff like that, was all the old school like tractor technology and how cool like the old tractors were and stuff like that from like the 1800s and early 1900s and stuff like that there, up until even like the 1950s and 60s and shit. Because that was the one thing with Canfield Fair, dude. Like, oh my god, bro, they had, buddy, like it was just like line after line after line after line after line of antique tractors, and they had like a whole bunch of lines of antique mowers that were riding mowers and stuff like that. Like it was fucking cool as shit, honestly, dude. I'm trying to think what year it was because I recently had found something while I was going through stuff to move here of an actual thing for the Canfield Fair. I'm not sure if I tossed in the trash or not because it would have been the year that we had gone actually, and I want to say it was like maybe 12 or 13 or something like that, perhaps maybe 14 at most. Like I'm trying to think now. I think it was before my uncle got married in Maine, so that would have been. Yeah, I'm thinking it would have been like 13 actually. So it would have been like 11 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that then. But yeah, it was really nice back then though, for sure. Not sure how it's been now in the last decade or so though. So I mean, I could have gone to shit since then. Anyway, going back to the list of cities in this state though. So we got Canfield at 224, Hubbard at 225, Independence, Northridge, Bellbrook, Wession, Dry Run, Logan, Chesterfield, Dafos, Mentor on the Lake, Cortland, South Lebanon, Union, Oberlin, Kirkland, Uniontown, Columbiana, Pepper Pike, which is again another like suburb of like Cleveland, like Lake area there is what it is. We got Mount Healthy, never heard of that place before. Moraine or Morin, Hillsborough, Ontario, Upper Sandusky, Huron, Northgate, Fort Shanny, Belper, never heard of that place, Orbits, Melford, Champion Heights, Rossford, Clyde, Wheelersburg, which I think is actually the place that has a casino, if I'm not mistaken. Cavedale, or Cavdale, one of those two. Jackson, New Burlington, Howland Center, Willard, Rittman, Marlin's Ferry, which I think is actually one of the places, or Martin's Ferry. I think this is actually one of the places for the islands that go over there to do stuff on and stuff like that. Now it's like a lot, like the actual nighttime there is just like a lot of adults getting their fuck on basically. Then we got Tippin Hills, Waterville, Monrose Gant, the Village Indian Hill, Port Clinton, Carlsley, Brookville, Pleasant Run, Gavia, Germantown, Portage Lakes, Groveport, Fort McKinley, New Carlsley, Wellston, Johnstown, Reminderville, or Rememberville. Or no, there's Reminderville. Canal Fulton. I don't know if Canal Fulton was that fucking low, man. Reader Bend, Chardon, which is where that school shooting happened like a decade or so ago. Grafton, Northwood, Deer Park, Ada, Granville, Toronto, Delhi Hills, Irwichville, White House, Mount Carmel, Lake Derby, Monroe Hills, Apple Valley, St. Clairsville, Wellington, Lexington, West Milton, Asheville, Ottawa Hills, Silverton, Miami Heights, Hunter, Coldwater, East Palestine, which is where the East Palestine train derailment happened there. I'm surprised it's actually, I guarantee you with that one being what it is right now, supposedly it was 2024 with 4,619 people in it, it's going to be probably like 619 people in it by the next time the census happens, is my guess, honestly, because that place is going to be a hell pocket forever now. Until they clean that shit up with like mushroom planting and everything else like that, you're going to have a complete fucking disaster zone down in that area for years to come now, if not decades to come now. So then we got Plain City, Summerside, Newton Hills, Sheffield, Nelsonville, New Lexington, Georgetown, Archbald, Taylor Creek, Crestline, Ottawa, Hoover Ridge. Sorry, mine's getting a little tired. It's already 2:30 in the morning. Edgewood, Dry Ridge, Mount Orab, one of the two. Like probably Crab is my guess, except for spelled an O. Greenfield, Ciderville, Blanchester, West Jefferson, Fruit Hill, Cherry Grove, Sebring, Waverly, Chagrin Hills, South Russell, etc., etc. Yeah, there's a whole bunch, dude. Like I didn't really have that many fucking towns and cities in the state, dude. Jesus. I was actually trying to find mine right now, is what it is, but I still can't find mine right now. Well, I'm not sure if they have it here or not. I didn't realize Hartville was that far down. Damn, dude. 372? Jesus. So. That's crazy that Louisville has more people than Hartville, though. By like 3 times as many. It doesn't seem like there'd be that many people in that town, though, dude, considering, like, you know. Like, I know the town because I live near it is what it is, and I'll leave it at that, basically. Yeah, that's pretty wild to me, man. I was trying to see if I missed one there or not. All right, Mayfield. Mount Healthy Heights. That's crazy. You have a town called Mount Healthy, and then you have a fucking like Heights version of it. That's like even less people. That's like a suburb of the fucking town. Then it's just weird. It's weird. Yeah, it's just very strange, dude. In general. Yeah, got Lisbon there. That's an interesting place. I've been there quite a few times in my life. Especially when we're going towards I'm trying to think what it is now. There's a casino across the river in West Virginia, and you have to go through that town there of Lisbon to get to it, is what it is. So it's pretty interesting. You obviously got to pay tolls too, and that's actually the bridge people have killed themselves on a couple of times, to the point where I think, if I'm not mistaken, they actually shut it down for a little bit of time because it was getting like it might have to get like restructured and rebuilt, basically is what they were saying there, or something, or get like reinforced like rebar and stuff onto it or something like that to make it better to not like basically fall into the fucking ocean. Pretty much is what it was there, which is not really ocean. It's actually just river, but still, you guys get what I'm saying though. So anyway, let me see here now. Sorry, I'm gonna go through this list myself here for a second because I just want to see if my town is on here or not as a city. Huh, still not finding it. We're already in the 500s and shit here. Oh wait, I just found it. Wow. Jesus, dude. Apparently we've lost 18 people since the last census here. Well, more than that now because my mom died this year, so it'll be below 1,500 now is what it is now. So, and some change, obviously. Yeah, because we're 1,500 some change. Here's what it was before this, and now we've lost, quite a few people there is what it is since then. So, yeah, sad, dude. Huh. Interesting. Looking at my town here, as of the latest census here, it is 95.28% white. Doesn't mean we don't have crime, by the way, because it was 2 white dudes that stole my gun a couple of years ago, dude, and the fucking Stark County Sheriff's Office still hasn't found a damn thing in almost 3 years now. So, yeah, 95.28% white, 2.68% black, 1.13%, 2 or more races, 0.49% Native American, 0.28% Asian, and then 0.14% other races. 0 Native Hawaiians or Pacific Islanders live in this town. So, yeah, let's see. There's 2 people that consider themselves to be other race. 4 Asian people, so that'd be a family here. Probably the people that run one of the local Asian places is my guess there. Like the Asian restaurants, Chinese restaurants, we're going to call them there. 7 Native Americans, that's a family. 16 people there, 2 or more races, that's probably a family, maybe 2 families. 30 people that identify as black or African American. So, yeah, again, probably 6-8 families would be my guess in that one. And then 1,300, a little over 1,300 people that are white. So, yeah, pretty wild, man. Let's see, it seems like the majority, only 26 people rent, or they're males, 74 females are in the town right now. Wow. So it seems like the majority of this town really, like there's only a couple. There's looks like 7 females that have less than the 12th grade or less than 9th grade education. So they probably dropped out in 8th or 9th to have a kid. Is my guess, and just never went back. Maybe got equivalent or something like that at some point. Then you had 19 males, 19 females that have 9th to 12th grade education. You had 241 males, 245 females that have high school graduates, 73 males and 86 females with some college. That I would, by the way, that would include me as one of the 73 males. I'm going to point that one out right now. And then we got 49 and 49 with bachelor's degrees with associate degrees. We got 48 guys with bachelor's degrees, 84 females with bachelor's degrees, and then 14 dudes with graduate degrees and 12 chicks with graduate degrees. So, pretty wild, man. Pretty wild. Yeah, some college, 159 people in total. So, 158 people plus me is what would be on that one. But anyway. And, of course, mom would have had the high school diploma, and that was it. Which, that was back in the day when you could actually have just a high school diploma and it wouldn't be a fucking issue then, So, yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that my town was, like, almost 100% white people is what it is, dude. But what's sad is, again, we still get the spillover from fucking Canton and shit, dude. So, and like other areas around us is what it is there, man. Let's go ahead and look at Canton right now, actually, for that matter, because Canton's number 8 on this list and is now the 4th most dangerous city in the state of Ohio currently, according to that Newsbreak app I was looking at the other day. So, yeah, let's see. So, you got 62.93% white, 25% black or African American, and 10.42% 2 or more races. 0.5% of Asian people live in that city. 1% consider themselves other race. 0.03% Native American, and 0% Pacific Islanders. So it breaks down to 22 Native American people. So that's like, again, probably either a large family or like 2 families. So then we got Asians, 353. Other races, 736. 2 or more races, 7,353. Black or African American, 17,705 people. And white, 44,420 people. So yeah, you have almost half as many blacks there. Well, actually, technically, with the 2 or more races, because I'm guessing those would be mixed race, black, and whatever else. Then that'd be the case for the most part there. Probably mostly black, white is my guess there. You know, there's a lot of never mind, I'm not gonna say it. I found out something new the other day. That is kind of like the mud, you know what? Except it starts with coal. So I thought that was kind of funny. I never heard of that used as anything before until now, and it's like I thought that was kind of funny, man. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a lot of those, that 7,000 where it was like white mother, black father. Mostly not in the picture, probably, because they're in jail or prison or whatever the case be in most cases. It's also why the crime rate in that city has skyrocketed like crazy. So, you know, single mother households for the most part there is what it is. A lot of welfare queens in both of those sets of people, and actually even in this set of people too, for that matter, of that chunk. Actually, now I think about it, the other race there would probably be Arabic. Now I'm thinking about it, because there'd be like 700 something Arabic people now, because there's a lot of fucking like Islam coming in this area, it seems like, anymore. So actually, technically, because they don't list Arabic or Latino on this list, that could also be one of the ones too, because that's what I've seen another kick up in that as well. So it's basically between like Arabic and Latino. I've definitely seen like an increase in those people then, so that would make sense. There's almost 1,000 of those people there, is what it is in downtown Canton area. And then again, it could also be like this whole thing where it'd be like, you know, half Latino, half black, or half Latino, half white, or something like that. That's your 2 or more races as well on that one as well. So, but yeah, that's crazy, dude. Almost 18,000 fucking black people in that town there, in that minor city. That's a huge, and the reason I'm saying like holy shit, I didn't realize that was that high, honestly, is because of what AK was saying on his panel earlier, which is basically once you get to, he said 7% or higher, it's when you usually get like crazy violent outbreaks and stuff like that. So anyway, but yeah, I think it's like almost 4 times that right now. It's like holy shit, dude. Like no wonder there's people being shot and killed in Canton all the time, man. And again, this is why literally when I go down there to the John Barker Spring House to get my water in the middle of the fucking afternoon, dude, it's why I'm carrying a gun on me all the time, and on the one side and a knife on the other side too, for that matter. I'm actually debating if I want to carry this fixed blade now, is what it is, because I got this. My cousin, who was over here and got my comics on Earth the other day. Shit, this is all. Sorry. It's stuck in place right now because I have it on my tactical bag from my loadout, is what it is. Trying to pop it up now. Oh, can't get it out there. I got the knife itself out though. Yeah, that's what the knife looks like. So it's not bad. I would like to get like something to put around this handle though, because it's like or even like in these little slots right here is what it is. Like the problem with this part of the handle though, I think it's about to here. Like it wouldn't really work out, but like having like something like right here maybe at the end of it, and then like into the things like some paracord or something like that, just like paracording it like right in that spot right there, to have like a bigger like thing from my hand or whatever then. So in case I would need to like pull this in self-defense and like, you know, whatever at that point, like it'd be doable versus, you know, obviously it wouldn't be so doable with a whatever. That being said, you're not technically allowed to carry a knife for self-defense in Ohio, so technically it's a letter opener or like, you know, whatever the fuck I would need it for at that point. That's not a defensive tool. Is basically what I would tell the cops if something ever did happen. But again, at that point, I'm most likely to be holding my gun using that in self-defense too, for that matter. So it's like, it wouldn't really matter, dude. It's like, because honestly, with me, it'd probably be one of those situations where they're like, why'd you stab the guy after you shot him like 17 times? It's like, because the motherfucker was still moving. Like, I thought he was still a threat to my life. But no, seriously, I would never mag dump somebody and then like stab them too on top of that. Although it might be a situation where that would be the knife would be like the secondary backup weapon in that case. If it would be like I was out of fucking ammo or something like that and there was like multiple attackers and shit. Where it's like, yeah, you know, you got the first two guys down, and you fucking spent your mag with those two dudes or whatever the case may be. There's a third guy comes out of nowhere and you're just like, well, fuck you then too. And just pull the knife and just like right in the fucking, you know, chest area or whatever then. So. Yeah, I'm trying to get this thing off now is what it is. I think the real problem is that the way this is hanging, it's... There we go, finally got it. Yeah, the problem is the way that hangs. There's like a little clip right there in it that goes up then, and it gets like stuck into the thing is what it is there. So yeah, that's basically what the what this blade looks like when it's actually sheathed up then. So I guess technically you could potentially put paracord around this piece and then all three of those ones then if you want to do that way. And then maybe even like some of these holes too for that matter on the thing. So, but yeah, it's pretty good like that. And then, yeah, you just, yeah, pull it out and it's good to roll then. So I think I bought this for like, it was either like 12 or 15 bucks at a flea market down by where my aunt lives, like a decade or so ago, give or take. I think this was right. Yeah, it was actually longer than that. I don't think about it because it would have been more like maybe 2008 or 9. Now that I think about it, because it would have been. I think it was like the year before I moved down to Columbus, and that would have been like 2008, give or take. So yeah, this is probably like This is probably at least 16 years old that I've had it for. Plus whatever it was before that, like a year or two before that, probably most likely that somebody bought it from like a thing off of. So yeah, I'm guessing it's probably like an 18-year-old knife at this point, honestly, but it's still in good shape, dude. I need to find my my scraper thing, knows what it is, so I can actually sharpen the shit out of this thing, because it is pretty dull actually right now. But yeah, it's a nice looking knife though. So it's by M-Tech is what it says there on the blade. So. And then I think I have the box for it down here someplace. Maybe not. Maybe I'm around. Oh, here it is. Yeah, that was the. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it has a price on it. Yep, paid $12 for that at a flea market. So, and they had all their little different designs on the back there of all the kind of like daggery knives and shit like that's what it is there. Actually, a couple of these ones, like that one right there, and like I think it was like this one over here, whatever the case be, or something like that right there, is what that idiot Jacob Blake tried to use that started the whole thing in Kenosha that Kyle Rittenhouse had done self-defense because of. But yeah, like I said, I think this knife is pretty nice, and yeah, it can easily, you know, pull out if you need to pull it out is what it is there. So locks up very tight, has a decent like tightness to it is what it is there. So very, very good quality, I think, honestly, for the price of it. So like I said, you can't really beat $12, honestly, unless it was like 10. Actually, now I think about it. Did I actually pay 12 or did I pay $10 for this? Now I'm thinking about it. I think maybe I paid 10 for this because I think I bought something else too, and I gave them like a 20 for both things. Is what it was. I think both of them were $10 then. And I was like, would you take a 20 for both? And they're like, yeah. So I think I paid maybe $10 for this, even for that matter. So yeah, like I said, pretty good, man. So Anyway, I should see if I have. Oh yeah, right here. I'm fucking retarded. There's my sharpener right there. So maybe I'll just sit here and sharpen this up for a couple minutes then, while I'm bullshitting then. See if I can get this bitch razor sharp then. So I'm trying to think which side I'd use on this though first. Okay, that was fine polish. This was abrasive here. And yeah, this is very dull, so I'm going to go ahead and brace it a few times then. Nine, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25. When I did my other knife before, it took me about 100 times to get it through there is what it is. Before it actually got to a point where it was like good to roll then. Seventeen, 19, 20. Grab a napkin and see if I can cut through this fairly easily or not. Because it usually should be able to roll like that. Try and do it through like one layer maybe. Nah, it's still pretty shitty. Alright, so this is going to take a while to get done. So go back to the abrasive side and do that about another maybe 30 or 40 times. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 19, 20, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 32, 34, 35, 36, then 38, 39, 40. Ah, man. Try to clean some of the possible burring off of that too on there. There's definitely a little bit of black that's come off of that, so that's good. Yeah, there's a little bit of burring that came off of that on that one, so it's probably a good thing to wipe that down then. I gotta stop for a minute because I'm getting real bad cramp in my fingers now. It's from all the arthritis and shit like that. 18, 19, 21, 22, 24, 26, 27, 29, 30. 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 39, 40. This is also just one of the sharpeners I have. I also have one of like the stone things you can go like that and do the shit as well. So actually do have a piece of paper here, and then I guess I could cut through it now. It's just a piece of mail. What's that name? Oh, yeah, that's my brother's thing, so don't want to cut through that, obviously. Something for him. That was my thing. And then, oh yeah, I don't know if I told you guys about that shit. Fucking got a thing from Richland Acquisitions LLC here from the 30th of April, a couple weeks ago now, where these pieces of shit for this property I live on right now that we're selling to somebody else, these fucking scumbag sons of bitches were literally trying to buy this place for, what did they have? There's a thing. $16,671. Fucking pathetic, dude. So not even 20 grand. We're literally gonna get 200,000 out of this fucking place at some point. So yeah, you guys can go fucking eat a dick on that one, you fucking scumbag bastards. Yeah, it's got almost a sharp edge. Yeah, it's still a little bit dull, so do it a couple dozen more times if that'll be the case then, and see if I can't get something here. Probably do some more abrasive ones actually. Do another like 50 through that maybe. See if I can get an actual edge off of it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, 36, 7, 38. My cousin and I were actually having a good conversation the other day about we had gone to a Chinese buffet over in Alliance once here a few months back now when he first took me over to that Bid's place that does the 50-cent Fridays there. And we were discussing how hot it was in that place that day. And I said, I think they do that shit on purpose. And he was saying about how his son, my second cousin, was over there with a few of his buddies once. And it was fine for like the first hour or so that they were there. And then they just kept eating and eating and eating. And it was like about maybe an hour and 45 minutes in or so. Like all the buddies are like, man, it's getting hot as fuck in this place. So yeah, they're pretty sure that the Asian people that were running were trying to turn into a sauna so they'd stop eating food there so it didn't just leave. Which is pretty messed up, dude. Like that's a pretty fucked up thing to have, especially when it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet and stuff, dude. Like, I don't know, maybe not make it all-you-can-eat, people. Maybe make it like an hour buffet or something like that. That'd be the case if you got problems like that with people staying a couple hours to eat then. So the thing is, what they were charging was not cheap either, man. So yeah, like you should get your fucking fill. Like there's a reason why we went there that day. I was only getting like meats basically and like a couple veggies. Was because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna eat the shitload of fucking meat through is what it is, dude. And I think I ended up eating like 3 plates of meat basically is what it was then. Mostly chicken. They didn't really have much beef there. 16, 17, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27. Man, there's my hand. 30, 32, 33, 35, 36, 38, 39, 41, 43. Ah, God. Thumb is cramping like a motherfucker right now. Ooh, throw the arthritis and shit in it. 4, 46, 47, 48, 50, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 59, 60. All right. That was 60 times on the fine side. So let's see if I can get a a good slice out of this bitch now. After over 100 times. And it's starting to get there. Yeah, it's starting to get there. Yeah, it's almost there. It's almost there. And the reason I say it's almost there is because you can get just a little bit of a cut out of it, but not much. Versus if I did this another couple hundred times, probably would be my guess. I will get enough off of that to basically have it be a nice fine edge on there and be able to get like a decent amount out of that. Then it'll be. So that would be my plan right now is to, I'm thinking maybe go abrasive about another 60 times on that side to maybe try to get a better edge there. Is what it would be. Maybe get a little bit better down thing. Or maybe I'll go straight polishes with this. I'm not sure. Like the fine, maybe 100 times or so. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm thinking go abrasive at this point, honestly, another couple of dozen times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25. That should maybe be enough to take enough off to where it would be like a good edge. I think another 70 or so. Things on the other side then. So let's do 75 on the blue and see if that doesn't change things here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20. I'm going to flip it around the opposite side so I can do it that way then. 21, 22, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 33, 35, 36, 38, 39, 40. Oh, that hurts so bad, dude. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 47, 48, and 50. Oh, God, my thumb is hurting like a bitch right now. Take a drink of water real quick and we'll. But yeah, it's interesting to know that there's that site out there now to where you can find out like where everything's at then. It's a pretty good site, man. You have access to them. So, yeah, this is the actual offer these douchebags made up the property then. What a bunch of fucking scumbags, dude. Like, seriously, how the hell are you going to come with like less than 10% of what the actual property value is worth, you fucking douchebags? So, which, by the way, the actual, price for this place was actually $240,000. So, 59, 60, 61, 62, 64, 65, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 83, 84, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. If I hold it like this, where the what you call it is there, it seems like I'm getting more of a good scrape through it here than the opposite way. 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 99, 100. All right, let's try it now. First of all, I'm going to give a little wipe off there. Ooh, a lot of black shit that came off on that. So I'm assuming that would be like scraping off quite a bit of the edgy piece then. So go ahead and grab this again. See how far we can cut through this bad boy now. Yeah. Grab this piece right here. Ooh, that looked kind of fucked up how that went. Huh. It's actually looking like it's getting worse now. The fuck, man. All right, there it goes. Yeah, paper was weird. Oh yeah, that's a nice one right there, buddy. Go ahead and pull this whole thing up right now. We'll take a nice little slice through this whole thing right now. Actually, maybe I won't slice through it that way because this was all white where I was slicing through it there on different spots of it. So I don't really want to slice through the actual lettering there. So maybe I'll just grab the what you call it was in here, the envelope. Let's do an envelope slice then and see how good it is with the envelope slicing. Yeah, it looks like it's getting a messed up edge or something, dude. Yeah, it's not really wanting to cut properly through that is what the issue is. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, maybe like another dozen times or so through the thing. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one, not gonna lie. Yeah, it seems like there's like a little bit of a bad spot right back in the back that it doesn't want to. Maybe it doesn't hold an edge right now, is what it is. Like right at the very tail end there. See if I can put it in properly and do a good scrape through about maybe 27 times or something. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25. Okay. Let's try that again now. Let's see my spot and stuff. Yeah, it seems like this part of it's definitely more, like the top part is definitely more blade cutting. Like the front half basically. Yeah, the tip's definitely sharp as shit. Yeah, you can definitely poke a hole through somebody. So yeah, that back piece is not. It's got a little bit of an edge. You can tell right there. It has a little teeny bit of an edge to it now. But it definitely needs more of an edge. Yeah, because that middle piece is definitely ready to roll, dude. Yeah, like that's what I'm talking about right there, dude. Like that is a nice cut. So those are the kind of cuts I'm looking for right there, man. I would need to get into a fight or whatever. Defend myself. Well, I know that bitch is going to be able to plunge into some motherfuckers. So. Yeah, definitely want to. I think I'm going to try and scrape that just a little bit more in the back there. Maybe I'll even try to find my little steel bar. That's the scrape bar there. And try to do it on that maybe. Which I thought was in this fucking drawer too, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's out in the thing out there. In one of the packages out there. Actually, maybe I'll go check out there real quick and see if that's where it's at. Because I don't think it is in this drawer now. So, okay. Resheathe that knife real quick. Just check to make sure it's not in this real fast. Oh, there's my power pack. Nope, not seeing it here. Nope, I don't think it's here. Nope, doesn't place here. Okay. So yeah, it's probably out in the other room there. So I think maybe I'll looking at grabbing that then real quick and then come back out here and stuff like that and see about maybe using that to do a couple little scrape dates and stuff like that and finish off the stream with that one then. Back in a sec. Oh, there it is. Yep, found it. Yep, that's exactly where I thought it was then. Yep, I put it in the old Tupperware box apparently. This is what I was talking about, by the way. Little steel bar thing basically to do your scraping on. Where you have the abrasive side here is what it is. And then you got the real like smooth side on the other side here is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get just that piece right there, basically is what it is. It needs like a little bit more of a nice polished edge to it is what it is. So and of course, you take it on the other side and do the same thing on that side. Obviously, be careful not cutting yourself. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25. All right, now we're going to try this again. Go pull the letters out of there real quick. Yeah, still having a tough time there. Yeah, you can definitely tell there's a lot better edge to it, about 3/4 up, basically what it is. Like the first half, like basically, I'm not sure how long this, but I think it's about maybe 3.5 or 4 inches or whatever. So about like this much of it upwards that. So about 2 inches or so, maybe 3 inches or so. It's gonna be really good. It's like that last inch or so does not want to get sharpened enough, really is what it is. But yeah, I mean, this should be good to go on that one though. Pretty close to it anyway. Like it might not be quite as good as my my Mora knife that's in the bedroom, but it's definitely sharp enough to probably cut through some shit. So yeah, I feel good carrying this around now is what it is. If I would have to, in a self-defense encounter or something, I would not feel bad about doing that. So but of course now I have non-lethal with me all the time, which is the pepper spray and shit. So I could always use that, obviously, as a first line of defense. And then it's basically, then at that point, if people don't want to, back the fuck off and stuff like that, or when they want to escalate it or whatever the case be, then there's always, lethal force of both, 2A and non-2A means. So yeah, that's pretty much how you sharpen a blade, is what it is. So, which it really shouldn't need to be sharpened, but unfortunately, it seems like a lot of, especially those Chinese ones like that and stuff like that, they basically sell them with like no edge at all to them, with what it is. Which, don't even get me started on trying to sharpen up a machete, dude. Like, holy fuck balls, dude. Like, that thing is impossible, especially those little hand ones, dude. Because you're like this, and you're just like like trying to do that, which I think you probably shouldn't do that, honestly, just because it's like could very much be, you might like yank and like inadvertently cut yourself somehow is what it is there. So you probably shouldn't use one of these for that, obviously. But there is other ones out in the market though that I think are made for like machetes and stuff. So it's not like there's not like other things on the market and stuff like that could work. But anyway, put that back in there with everything else now. Damn gummy pack. Well, this damn drawer is just not deep enough is the problem. All the stuff I have in it right now. So anyway, I still need to pull out the shit on that drawer and dump it into a box or something one of these days soon. But anyways. But yeah, so the M Tech is pretty much ready to go, is what it seems like now. So like I said, my only thing right now would be like maybe taking some paracord and putting it through here, putting it through there, putting it through there, and there. And then maybe doing like a weird like paracord thing at the very bottom of the blade here in these holes and shit. As like an extra piece or something. Or maybe even possibly to designate like, hey, I'm carrying a knife, obviously, like, because people might be like, that's the thing too, like, and that's it. And going back to even Bianca Ellis for a minute there, dude, like, she literally had a kitchen knife that was all black in her hand. But yeah, if you're not paying attention, like, she's just like randomly like, whatever, like this, basically, what it is. You're just strolling through the fucking thing like it's normal and shit. So yeah, like people just start in a situation where it's an unfortunate situation in our country right now, dude, and people need to be, honestly, because you're not going to have random attacks of violence, dude. You're going to have literally targeted hate crimes in this country, which is what this fucking is and what it should be treated as right now. So, and the fact that the media are cucking out for this bitch instead of actually being like, no, she's a black supremacist. She obviously committed a fucking black and white hate crime is what it is here. Like, charge her with that stuff along with the meditated murder and stuff like that is what it is. So, anyway. Let's go ahead and check out Columbus for a minute before we go today, actually, on that population of city stuff there. Because I do kind of want to see what their racial breakdown is of people. Actually, let's go ahead and look at all the top 5, really. Or actually, we'll go all the way to top 10, now I think about it. So, we'll do 1 through 8, and then 9 and 10 as well, which is Lorraine and Hamilton. So, starting out at 10. So we got Hamilton, which is 62,470 people, and it is 79.81% white, 8.88% black, 7.6% 2 or more races, 2.65% other race, which would be Latino or Arabic, whatever the case be there, 0.67 Asian, 0.23% Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, and 0.16% Native American, which breaks down to 100 Native Americans, 147 Pacific Islander people, 423 Asians, 1,674 people that consider themselves other race, almost 4,800 people, like literally one less 400 people, are mixed race. You have 5,608 black people, and then you have 50,398 white people in that city. And then to Lorraine, which is a Cleveland suburb, which is 65,506 people, you have it be 62.48% white, 16.72% black, so almost 17% black, almost 15% 2 or more races, so mixed race, almost 5% other race, a little over 0.5% Asian, 0.5% Native American, and 0.02% Pacific Islander people. So 11 of those people, which would be, again, possibly a family. Makes sense on that one. 300 something Native, or almost 400 Native Americans, just over 400 Asians, just over 2,000 people that consider themselves another race, 9,752 mixed race people, and 10,891 black folks, and then 40,695 white people. So, yeah. Pretty much 1/4 of the amount of whites is what the black percentage is there. It makes up almost 10% of the fucking population there, which is crazy, dude. So, like I said, going to Canton, it was 62.93% white, 25.0%, 0.8% black, 10.42% mixed race, 1% other, 0.5% Asian, 1% of Native American, and 0% of Pacific Islander people, which broke down to 44,420 whites, 17,705 blacks, 7,353 mixed race people, just over 700 people of other races. Asian was 353, and Native American was 22. So that could have easily been like a small tribe of people, basically, that would have been like the same family, like, you know, grandparents, parents, siblings, cousins, whatever it is there, maybe, probably. So, yeah, that combined together is like almost 24,000 people, or close to 25,000 people. It'll be then that would be potentially like black or mixed, possibly like 75, almost 7,500 mixed race kids that would be like mixed black and something else then. So then we got Parma, which is 77,767 people, 84.5% white, 6.49% black, or sorry, 6.49% 2 or more races, 4.88% black / African American, 2.17% Asian, 1.9% other races, almost 2% of the races, 0.5% Native American, or no, sorry, not 0.5%, 0.05% Native American, so like half of a percent, basically, what it is there, and then 0 Hawaiian Islander people. even though they have 0%, it's a family of 4 basically live there is what it is. And then 42 Native Americans, 1,535 people of other races, 1,749 Asian, 3,934 Black/African American folks, 5,231 mixed race, and then 68,092 whites. So yeah, so it sounds to me like Parma is very much a white, mostly liberal suburb, I think is what it is there. Because that would have been one of the places that were for abortion on demand and someone would have birthed in this country, in the state right now last year. And we had that stupid ass thing on the ballot there. So, and then we got, let me figure this out now. So going to Akron, which is where that mass shooting happened the other day, or supposed mass shooting, which is really just gang violence. 168,888 people there. So, which showing their population growth / decline. It was 190,130 people in 2020, so they have almost 4,000 less now is what it is. 3,000 changed what it is there. So, breaking down demographics, it is 57.3% white, almost 29.5% Black/African American, plus adding in the 7.7 or 7.55% mixed race. Then we got 4.53 or 51% Asian, almost an entire percent other races besides that. 0.23% Native American, and then 0.01% Pacific Islander. So it was 18 Pacific Islanders, 433 Native Americans, 1,765 other race, 8,582 Asians. So apparently if you want some Asian puss, go here, I guess. So I'm just going to say that right now, man. Actually, probably here in Columbus, because I know there's a lot of down in Columbus, actually, that were all students and stuff like that. I think this would be one of the places to go get some Asian puss, honestly, though, dude. We got mixed race, 14,361. Black, 56,085. And then white, 109,029 people. That's crazy. You have almost 30% black. There's what it is. And like less than 60% white, dude. So it's essentially like a 2-to-1 margin almost currently. That, honestly, dude, that melting pot thing I was showing the other day where it was like South Africa, bro, like, that's getting pretty close, honestly, right there, right now, man. I'm just going to say, man, Akron, like, you know, maybe stop voting in dumbass diversity hires like Seamus Malik. Just saying, man, seriously. Go hard red for one time, man, seriously, man. Then we got Toledo, 262,336 people live there, apparently. Which is down from 270,266 in 2020. And now we got, let's see, 59.61% white, 28.1% black, 7.67% mixed race, just over 3% other races that are not like Asian or anything like that. So it'd be like, you know, Latino or Arabic, or I'm trying to even think now what else would be out there. Yeah, so it'd be Latino, Arabic. I'm trying to think what else would be considered race in this country now. Yeah, I think it's like non-white Latino is what would be one of the ones listed on like gun forms and stuff like that is what it is, et cetera, et cetera. So that would be like stuff like that is what it is there. And then we got 0.24% Native American and 0.06% Pacific Islander, which breaks down to 164 people from Hawaii, 650 Native Americans, 3,391 Asians. Then we got other races, 8,257. Mixed race people, 20,714. Black 75,862, and white 160,924. Yeah, those numbers are like 2 to 1 basically at this point, dude. Like, damn. And that would be Toledo right now. That's the one thing I remember watching Toledo when they were on that OP Live and then Live PD as well. And bro, it was Toledo area that was like really popping off with like black gang violence and stuff like that. There, which makes sense given how many percentage blacks make up there is what it is there. So let's see, going to the big three. Wait, did I? Shit, I think I'm. Yeah, let's see. I did Canton, I did Parma, did Akron. Oh, I did Dayton. I don't think I did Dayton. Yeah, Dayton, which is where the massacre happened with the Antifa's ass 5 years ago now almost. 134,404, down from 137,484. So they lost 3,084 people, or 3,080 people in the past 4 years now. So let's see, we got 51.95% white, 38.02% black / African American, 6.01% mixed race, 2.32% other races or other race, 1.3% Asian, 0.38% Native American, and 0.02% Pacific Islanders, which account for 26 people there. Native Americans are 520, Asians are 1,783. Other races like Latinos and stuff like that would be 3,190. Mixed race is 8,258. Black population is 52,202. And the white population is 71,326. Whew, buddy. Like 52% white, 38% black. Like, yeah, if there's some tribalistic warfare, like people in Dayton are fucked, dude. Like pretty close, man. Like that number is way too close, buddy. I'm just gonna say it like it is, man. So you fuck Dayton for sure. Not to mention all the whitey and Tifa that would be like siding with the other motherfuckers too on that one. So y'all might be donezo, man, on that shit for real. Anyway, going to the big three shitholes, though, which is Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, in that order, obviously. So you got number 3, Cincinnati. 309,452 people live in this place, which is down from 309,574 in 2020. So they've only lost 120-something people since then. That's actually not bad, dude. By the way, for those that don't know where Cincinnati is, it's in Hamilton County, which is on the border of Ohio and Kentucky there. At the meeting of the Ohio River and Licking River, Cincinnati's population is slowly declining, is what it says here. So Cincinnati has had a steadily declining population for several decades. Between 2000 and 2010, population dropped from 331,300 to 296,900. So in a 10-year span, it dropped like over 30,000 people, dude. Says, well, the worst of the decline seems to be over. Cincinnati has not recovered its previous population, nor will it ever, by the way, because it's a fucking shithole. It's a Democrat one hell pocket in this country. Seriously, dude. The guy who is the mayor there right now totes himself as like, I forget if he's like Indian or if he is some kind of fucking like other Arabic dude or something like that's what it is now. But yeah, he's a piece of shit though. He was blaming fucking gun violence for all the fucking gang violence down there is what it is, dude. And keeps trying to sue the city and shit like that, or keeps trying to sue the state to break state preemption and stuff like that. We keep telling him to go fuck himself is what it is. Just like we did with that dipshit Andrew Ginther and that other idiot that used to be Cincinnati's mayor, John Crenley. So, and I personally want to thank John Crenley's piece of shit criminal ass for being the fucking dickhead that had that stupid project thing he came up with, get a bunch of fucking career criminals back out of prison and put them back on our damn streets to do more crime, you fucking asshole. Thanks a lot, Crenley, you fucking dick sucker. Fucking clown. Anyway, no wonder you lost to Nan Whaley in the fucking primary there for the stupid-ass Democrat nominee for the 2022 governor's race, you asswipe. Anyways. Damn, dude. Cincinnati is another one of these ones. 50.41% white, 39.62% black, 2 or more races, 5 point, so that'd be mixed race people, 5.64%, Asian 2.64%, other race 1.55%, Native American 0.12%, and Pacific Islanders 0.02%. So Pacific Islanders are 61 people. Native American is 365, or sorry, 375. Yeah. Yeah, 375. Sorry, mind is kind of out of it. It's 3:30 in the morning. What do you expect? We got other race. This would be Latinos, Arabics, etc. 4,789. Asian 8,143. So again, Cincinnati would be a nice place to get some Asian posts then probably. Mixed race is 17,419, which might be like, this actually might be a nice place to get like some Asian / other, you know, where it's like a girl who's like half Asian, half white, or half Asian, half black, or half Asian, half Latino, or something like that. Or even like half Latino, half white, or something like that, you know, like that kind of stuff going on there. So anyway, 17,419 of mixed race. 122,384 black folks, and 155,699 whites. Dude, you only have like 30,000 more white people than you have black people in the fucking Cincinnati area, dude. And like I said, a lot of these motherfuckers were also Antifa / BLM supporters, dude. So, yeah. That's why I'll never live in a major city in this state, dude. For real. That's exactly why right there. Like, too much leftism is what it is, man. Then we go number 2 of Cleveland. 351,397 people, which is down from 371,817 in 2020. About a 5%, almost a 5.5% decrease now. Let's see here now. So we got, oh my God, bro. This is actually like the first one that actually has African Americans outweighing whites in this one. Wow. I did not even realize that one until now, dude. That's fucking crazy. So black population in Cleveland is 46.49% of the population there. Whites are 38.3 or 38.27%. Mixed race 8.24%. Other 3.97%. So that's like almost 4% of like Latinos, Arabics, etc. there. 2.46% Asian, 0.42% Native American, and 0.05% Pacific Islander, which leads to 172 Pacific Islander people. 1,557 Native Americans, which, by the way, I know there's some people up there that there's at least a couple women that are mixed between Native American blood and white people blood, basically. And this one considers herself to be mixed race too on that matter, so she would actually be falling into that 2 or more race category then on that one. So you got legit Native Americans would be 1,557. Then you got 9,097 Asians. Again, want some Asian posts, go to Cleveland maybe. 14,716 other race, so Latino, Arabic, etc. 30,506 people of mixed race descent. 141,746 white people, and 172,571 blacks. Jeez. No wonder they got Justin Bibb as their fucking idiotic diversity hire mayor there is what it is, dude. And then finally, the biggest of all populations in Ohio for cities, being Columbus at 909,676. This is also where our capital is, by the way. So we had, actually, Columbus has actually grown a little bit in the last 4 years. It was 906,266 in 2020. Now it's 909,676 as of current year. So, yeah, let's see. We got 54.89% white, 29.14% black, 7.08% mixed race, 5.8% Asian, 2.84% other races, which would be most likely Somali and stuff like that now is what it is as well. I don't know if they consider a race at that point, or maybe just Arabic. That'd be the case then. People from Somalia, transplants like that. Although that could be part of like the Black/African American population too, though. I'm not sure on that one. So it'd be like Ismail Muhammad's and Marina Abdulla's and stuff like that. We're at Journal Assembly now. Might be falling underneath that first category though, and not this other category. So who knows? And then we got 0.22% Native American and 0.03% Pacific Islander. So 231 Pacific Islander people, just under 2,000 Native Americans. Other race people is 25,659. Asians, which is where if you really want some Asian puss, go down to fucking Columbus, dude. 52,353. Mixed race, 63,928. Blacks is exactly 263,000 people. And then whites are 495,311. So pretty wild, bro. I do want to see some other stuff on this one, though, actually. Specifically, I want to see the, yeah, that's what I was looking for right there, this thing. So let's see. So going to the education levels here. So it was Columbus educational, attainment by sex over 25. So people over 25, 11,000 or 11.4 thousand males and 10.74 thousand females have less than a 9th grade education, so they dropped out before high school. 9 through 12, so those people that either got a GED or have like an equivalent, probably most likely be my guess. Pretty close to it anyway. 18.68 thousand male, 17.42 thousand female. Then we got college or high school graduate, 75.05% male, 75.46%, 75.05 thousand males, 75.46 thousand females. Some college, 59,000 or 59.31 thousand males, 58.35 thousand females. Associate's degree, 18.59 thousand males, 24.75 thousand females. Bachelor's degree, 70.81 thousand males, 74.79 thousand females, so almost 75,000 females compared to almost 71,000 males. And then graduate degree, 38.2 thousand males, 45.27 thousand females. So pretty much chicks are higher than guys in every single one of those categories, dude, which is crazy. Except for the high school thing. There a little less females dropped out than guys on that one before high school. And then the 9 to 12 education too as well. There was a lot more. There was about 1,000 more guys that dropped out besides females there. And then that's just the high school graduation thing. It's just skews in females category on that one. The some college skews in the male category, so it's basically people that went to college for like, you know, a quarter or semester or whatever it is there, and decided it wasn't for them most likely, or people like me that, you know, got fucked over partway through is what it is, never got a chance to get a degree is what it was then. And then when it comes to associate's degrees, it is females by several thousand. Same thing with bachelor's degrees and same thing with graduate degrees. Like it all skews female then. So, but yeah, it's good. So yeah, a total of 36,101 people not having any high school education, or yeah, I'm sorry, I'm retarded. That was actually having some high school education on that one. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking this one down here is what it is. So yeah, it was 36,101 people having some high school education. 43,333 people have an associate's degree. 145,600 people have a bachelor's degree. 83,471 have a graduate degree. 150,516 have a high school diploma. 22,148 have less than a high school education, and 117,669 have some college. So, pretty wild, man. There's this one right here. Oh, that's interesting. So they actually break down the schooling too by race on this one as well. I didn't realize that part of it also. That's interesting. So, yeah, so you got white people, or a lot of the high school graduates, and have quite a bit of bachelor's degrees, it seems like here. Then you have black folks making up it's almost 350,000, by the way, for the white folks. They're either high school graduates or bachelor's degrees. Then we got blacks at 158,983. 138,281 have a high school diploma. Only 32,694 have a bachelor's degree. That seems low, man. Especially, I mean, like, because you look at this one, right? It's like just over 300,000 for white people for high school diplomas. And then it's almost 160,000 have a bachelor's degree, dude. So you're talking about like basically a 2-to-1 margin on that one. Versus black folks, well, they'll have 138,281 graduate high school, but only like 30-ish thousand in the actual bachelor's degrees, though. So that's like, yeah, that's basically like almost 1-to-5 ratio then for that, like 1-to-4-ish or so, give or take. 4-point-something% would be then. So basically, only 1 in 4 actually go to college. And that's what it seems like and get a bachelor's degree, which is which again kind of goes back to what I've talked about always. What it is, dude. Not I can tell you that firsthand, honestly, dude. Like that's one thing I will discuss right now. Even is when I went to college back in 2009. There was what was done in Columbus area, at Columbus State. There, I could tell you right now, dude. Just like if I could go back then and talk to my past self and stuff like that, dude, I would have just started pointing people out and be like, that guy's not going to be here next week. That guy's not going to be here next month. That chick over there is not going to be here in like a month or so, et cetera, et cetera. And it's because of the fact when you actually look into it, you had so many people that they would literally show up with a fucking notebook. Like, obviously, this is a little notepad right here in my hand, but like, you know, you get the point though. Like they'd have like a notebook in their hand, and they may or may not have an actual fucking instrument to write then, whether it be a number 2 pencil or a pen to write with then. And then they would be begging people to like borrow their fucking pens and shit. And then of course, if you gave it to them with the cap, they would just steal it, is what it is. I made that mistake once with a Bic pen I gave somebody, and I was actually pretty pissed about it then. Because what I thought about it, I would have just taken the fucking cap with me. And then there was another time somebody asked, and I was polite about it, but I kept the cap as what it was. And that son of a bitch still fucking stole it from me. And I'm like, you fucking dick. Like, you were such a fucking asshole, bro. And I just never gave shit to anybody after that. That's what it was, dude, because fuck them. You know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Whereas George Bush would say, fool me twice, I can't be fooled again. So, I guess such an idiot, man, seriously. But nah, it's just fucking ridiculous what it is, bro. For real. But yeah, it's just, and that's the thing. You can usually tell when like the people are gonna, and again, that goes back to like the whole like some college thing is what it is there, because these guys would be there for like a week or two, or maybe like, you know, X amount of weeks of a quarter, whatever the case being, and they drop out is what it is. They would essentially be there just long enough to basically get the grant money, and then they would just dip out with the fucking money and just expect to never pay it back is what it is. Then they wonder why they have like, you know, a whole bunch of fucking debt is what it is and can't afford shit. Then is what it is there because they're, you know, credit scores in the fucking shitter then because of that whole thing. So I know that firsthand. I was in credit card debt myself right now. I had to basically dodge that shit for 7 years and it fucked my credit score up quite a bit. And now I'm finally back to a point where I checked it the other day and it's actually getting pretty good again. Actually, it's like this close right now to being like almost really good now. Like it's a couple points off right now is what it is from being like really good again. Like it's still good, but it's not like really, really good though is what it is. So anyway, but yeah, it's crazy to think that though, man. Like it's like 1 in 4 basically graduate with a bachelor's degree in there. Sad. Which is crazy too to think about this one though. You want to talk about who's kicking ass, man? The fucking Asians, man. Seriously. 30,477 high school graduates, 21,524 bachelor's degrees. So that's almost everybody went to college for a bachelor's degree, dude. Like, Jesus. And we got mixed race, which was 25,941 high school graduates. Only 9,544 bachelor's degrees in that one. So that's again like another like 2-to-1 margin, give or take. Almost 3-to-1 margin on that one. This one breaks down Hispanic, honestly, on this one, which was 22,215 high school graduates, 7,753 bachelor's degrees. Other race on that was 9,774. So probably like Arabics and stuff like that would be my guess. And then bachelor's degree was 2,707 bachelor's degrees. Native Americans, of the 804 high school graduates, 172 got bachelor's degrees. That's pretty good, actually. That's like 1 in 4. So, and that, again, comparing this, though, the 800 something to like the 172 something then, versus like this, where it's like 140,000 almost to like the not even 33,000 that got fucking bachelor's degrees, dude. That's pathetic right there compared to this, honestly. And then we got Pacific Islander people, 206 high school graduates, 29 with bachelor's degrees. That's not bad, actually. I mean, it's not great, but again, you know, and that could just be people like working their asses off to get ahead is what it is there. So that's about 1 in 6, I think, give or take. Or actually, let me think about this right now. Actually, it might be more like 1 in 8 almost, like 1 in 7-ish, something percent then, I'm guessing that's what it is there. So, yeah, pretty crazy, man. Yeah, I do know there was a lot of Asian chicks down in Columbus, though, when I went there back 2009 for college and stuff. So it makes sense that there'd be a lot of, you know, the 50-something thousand there's what it is, which, again, that's the unfortunate situation about where I live, dude. Like, I do like me some Asian women. I'm not even going to lie. And the fact that there's not a whole lot around me is very, very saddening. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, it is what it is, man. So, I feel like I'd be the kind of guy, honestly, I'd be banging an Asian chick that's like originally from another country, whatever the case be. And it would just be like, she'd just be like moaning like random words in her native language, whatever the case be, during sex. And eventually, like, I just learn things because of that. And eventually it's like me just like learning a second language because of that, or whatever the case be, to know exactly what the fuck she's saying while I'm banging her. So, but anyway. But yeah, it's good stuff, man. Anyways. Apparently breaking down the population there of Columbus, as they do by the age range here. The median age for males is 32.3 years and 33.2 years for females. And we got Columbus sex ratio. Female is 478,715 people. Males is 443,734 people. So just slightly more females than guys by almost 1% is what it is there, which is not bad. Not bad at all, man. So it's like 50-50 almost there for gender ratios that'll be there. So actually, let's go ahead and find out what the other ones are then, if that would be the case there. So let's go ahead and start back at we won't do 9 and 10 in this one. We'll just do Canton up to Cleveland then. So let's break that one down then for a sec. So let's see, we got, in Canton, it is 36,259 females, 34,330 males. So 51.37% female, 48.63% male. And then we got Parma, which was 40,556 females, 40,019 males, or 50.34% female, 49.66% male. So literally a 50-50 split, basically, is what you might as well say on that one. Like literally flip a coin, you're either guy or girl in that fucking city is what it is. So anyway, to Dayton, we got 50 or not 50, 60 not or 60 yeah 69,129 females, 68,176 males. So 50.35% female, 49.65% male. So again, basically a coin flip. Just in just a little bit more females there by a couple of dozen. So going to Akron, it breaks down as 98,381 females, 91,892 males. So females have it by a couple percent here, 51.71% female, 48.29% male. And I'm thinking, honestly, given that Akron is such a, ghetto and stuff like that, I'm wondering if it's that a lot more males are getting murked out in that fucking town, that city and stuff like that there. And that's why you have more females being alive there by like 7,000, almost 7,000 what it is there. Difference. Because to me, that would make a lot of sense, honestly. But anyway, then we go to Toledo. We got 137,619 females, 132,343 males. So 50.98% female. So almost the entire percent higher female then by 5,000-ish, give or take. So Cincinnati is 159,780 females, 149,090 males. So 51.73% female, 48.27% male. So again, like a 3% ratio there. Almost 10,000, like a little over 10,000 people, almost 11,000 females, more than guys. And then Cleveland was 189,672 female, 180,693 male. So again, like a 2.5% more females than males. Almost 10,000 more females than there is males there. So crazy stuff, man. But yeah, so if you ever want to know what the population of any city in your state is, it's worldpopulationreview.com, apparently, and you just go by the, well, first off, you click a state, and then you go to, like, the cities in the state, what it is here at the tab for that then. Because I can do that the same thing here with, like, Alabama, and then you go to cities in Alabama, bring up, like, Huntsville, Montgomery, Birmingham, Mobile, Tuscaloosa, Hoover, Auburn, Dothan, Madison, and Decatur as the top 10 there. Huh. Yeah, comparing this to Ohio then, dude. So Ohio's major city being Columbus, almost 1 million people there, 900 something thousand. Or 900, 909,000 something is what it is there. Huntsville, Alabama, 227,522 people. Fucking crazy, bro. That's pretty wild, man. Yeah, and they have like about half of our population there too, for that matter. Because we have like 11 million, or it's almost 12 million. They only have 5 million. Alaska has. How the hell does Alaska have 733,000 people in it, dude? Jesus Christ. That's crazy. See, Arizona, 7.5 million, minus all the illegals, obviously. Arkansas, just over 3 million. California, almost 39 million. Again, not counting all the illegal aliens. They're, not on that census. Denver is almost 6 mil. So Denver's about half of what Ohio is right now. Or not Denver, Colorado. Yeah. Sorry. 4 a.m., dude. Mine no worky very good anymore. So let's see. Connecticut is just over 3.5 mil. You got Delaware at just over 1 million. District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Almost 700,000 people live there. That's crazy to think about that one, man. So we got and that's another thing too, by the way. So you have Ohio with like 12 million, and you have Florida with almost 23 million. So like it's almost a 2-to-1 margin more people than us, and yet we have very similar 2-year budgets every 2 years. Is what it is here, man. Which is fucking retarded. Like there's no reason that Ohio should be paying out billions of dollars in a fucking state budget every 2 years for random bullshit, dude. I guarantee there's wasteful spending across the board right now. And I'm sure Florida has that too, even for that matter, with their 23 million-ish almost people is what it is there, man. Like they could probably drop $1 billion off as well for that matter in wasteful spending then. Anyway, we got Georgia at 11 mil and some change. Let's see, 11,145,000 some change. Actually, comparing that to Ohio, let's see. 11,145,000. Nice. We actually beat Georgia by like 700,000 people almost right now. And people say Ohio is a dying state. Yeah, you can go fuck yourself, dude. We got more people than Georgia, dude. So fuck you. So there you go. Hawaii just over 1 million, just under 1.5 million. We got Idaho, just under 2 million. Let's see, Illinois. Actually, Illinois beats us here in Ohio by about 600,000. 700,000, something like that. 12.5 million people. I didn't realize there was that many in Illinois, dude. Makes me wonder, breaking that down then, how many is in Chicago alone then, if that be the case? So, wow. Almost 2.6 million people in Chicago alone, dude. That's wild. That's crazy, too. You think about it right now. Like their top 10 cities there, dude. So you go Chicago, 2,590,002 people. Aurora, 175,535. Like, God, like, dude, like, again, like, this should be a city state, bro. Like, there's enough people there to make it a fucking state at this point. / city state, which would have its, like, you know, own government and stuff like that. There is what it is and be walled off from the rest of America as it would be then. Because, yeah, comparing that to, like, the next highest city, which is, like, not even 200,000 people, and then Naperville, which is 150,000-ish, Joliet, which is, or Juliet, maybe, which is under 150,000, Rockford, which is under 150,000, Springfield, which is 112,000, Elgin or Elgin, whatever how to pronounce it, 111,000, Peoria, 109,000, Champaign, 90,000. Not even sure I pronounced number 10 there. It's some kind of Native American word. 86,000 some change. Fucking wild, bro. Crazy. So, let's see, Indiana. Not even 7 mil. Ha. We have like double people in Indiana, man. So, yeah. So, there. Ha ha. Gotcha. Iowa, just over 3 mil. Kansas, just under 3 mil. Kentucky, 4.5 million. Louisiana, 4.5 million. Maine, 1.4 million. Maryland, 6.1 mil. Massachusetts, just over 7 mil. Michigan, just over 10 million. So we still beat Michigan. Fuck yeah. We beat Michigan in population density. Go fuck yourself, Michigan, you dicks. Ohio State is better. Fuck you. We always will be. So, let's see, Minnesota, just under 6 mil. Mississippi, just under 3 mil. Missouri, just over 6 mil. Let's see, Montana, just over 1 million. Nebraska, just under 2 million. Gotta pump those numbers up, motherfuckers. See, Nevada, just over 3 million. Let's see where we're at now. Nevada, New Hampshire, just over 1.4 million. Let's see. New Jersey has just over 9 million. Damn, dude. I didn't realize New Jersey was that many people in it. Jesus. Let's see. New Mexico, just over 2 million. Let's see, where's that now? New Mexico, New York. 19.4 million people. Damn, dude. Almost 19.5 million. It's a lot of people, man. North Carolina, just under 11 million. So we still beat North Carolina. Hell yeah. North Dakota. Really? There's less than 1 million people in North Dakota? That's crazy, bro. I didn't realize that one. And like I said, Ohio, 11.8 million. Fuck yeah, baby. We the Kings, bitch. We the Kings. Just over 4 million Oklahoma. We trounced Oklahoma by almost 3 times, dude. So, let's see. Oregon, just over 4 mil. Again, we beat Oregon by like 3. We have like 3 times the amount of people as Oregon does almost. So, Pennsylvania, 12.951 million. I didn't realize that Pennsylvania had more people than Ohio did, dude. That's pretty wild. So they beat us by like, what is that, like a million-ish? Just over a million-ish? Like 1.1 million and some change. So it's pretty wild. Well, that's good to know in the future, man. Actually, let's go ahead and break that down, Pennsylvania, real quick, because I guarantee their cities are like Pittsburgh and Philadelphia are probably like millions apiece in those places, I'm guessing. So, yep, I was right, actually. Philadelphia, 1.533 or 1,533,916 people. Pittsburgh, 303,034 people. Then we got Allentown, 124,000. Reading, just under 95,000. Erie, just over 92,000. Upper Darby, just under 84,000. Bethlehem, just under 80,000. Scranton, just over 75,000. Lower Marion or Marine, whatever I pronounce that fucking word, just under 64,000. And Ben Salem is just over 62,000 right now, which is interesting because the ones I know of would be like Lancaster at number 12, which is just under 67,000 or 57,000. Then like Harrisburg, which I think is our capital, if I'm not mistaken, 50,000-ish or so. So, yeah, pretty wild, man. So let's go ahead and break down the other ones. Rhode Island has just over 1 million, almost 1.1 million. We got South Carolina at 5.4 million people. We got South Dakota at just under 1 million. We got Tennessee at 7.2 million. We got Texas at 30,976,754. God damn, Texas. Again, y'all can be your own fucking country at some point with that kind of numbers, bro. Like, y'all in California, man. Like, California is the one bigger than y'all right now, and they're fucking dipping people to your asses right now, Texas. Fucking hell, man. Crazy shit, bro. So we got Utah with 3.4 mil. We got Vermont with 647,000 some change. Pathetic Vermont. Pathetic. Virginia with just under 9,000. So 800 or 8.724 or 7, yeah. 8.752 million. So let's see. We got Washington State with almost 8 million people. We got West Virginia. I didn't really, wow, really? West Virginia only has 100 or 1.7 million and some change? Damn, dude. I didn't realize they were that small of a population right now. That's pretty fucking wild, man. So we got Wisconsin at 5.9 mil. got Wyoming at 586,000 some change. How do you even a state Wyoming? Come on, man. And for some reason, this actually lists Puerto Rico, which is actually a territory, not a U.S. state. So fuck y'all. I don't give a shit about your 3 million people over there, assholes. So really, it ends with Wyoming, motherfuckers. Go fuck yourself, Puerto Rico, you fucking U.S. territory. Y'all don't vote in our elections, nor should you vote in our fucking elections. So go fuck yourself. So there you go. You know what I'm saying, man? Let's break this shit down real quick by race on this whole thing. By all these states that have races. So let's see, 67% of Alabama, almost 6.5% is white. Over 60% of Alaska is white. Almost 74% of Arizona is white. Over 75% of Arkansas is white. Supposedly 56% of California is white, but I'm guessing that's a fucking lie. Supposedly 81 something percent of Colorado is white people. 74% of Connecticut is white. 67% of Delaware is white. Only 41% of Washington, D.C. is white. Nearly 72% of Florida is white. 57% of Georgia is white. 24% of Hawaii is white. 88% of Idaho is white, dude. Damn. Almost 70% of Illinois is white. 82.28% of Indiana is white. So you almost got them, man. You almost got Idaho, Indiana. Not quite, though. Iowa, 89% is white. Damn, dude. So even Iowa is actually more than Idaho. That's crazy. 86% of Kentucky is white. 61% of Louisiana. Remember how I told you that time I went to Maine like 10 years ago for my uncle's wedding? Yeah, there was a reason why I felt safe in that place, by the way. That's because it's like 94% fucking white people there, man. And I can tell you that firsthand, buddy, because literally the only other people I saw there my entire time being there was an Indian family that owned the fucking motel that we were staying at. And they were some really nice people. I would have totally fucked their daughter, who was like 25 or 30 at the time, dude. Because she was a hot piece of ass. I'll tell you that right now, dude. Straight up, man. Anyway, so continuing on, 54% of Maryland is white. 76% of Massachusetts, 77% of Michigan, 81% of Minnesota, 58% of Mississippi, 81% of Missouri, 87.8% of Montana, 85% of Nebraska, 62% of Nevada, 91.98% of New Hampshire, so almost 92% of New Hampshire, 65.5% of New Jersey, 70% of New Mexico, 62% of New York, 67% of North Carolina, 85% of North Dakota, 80.47% of Ohio, 71% of Oklahoma, 82.59% of Oregon, 79.37% of Pennsylvania, 79% of Rhode Island, 66.51% of South Carolina, 83.61% of South Dakota, 76.73% of Tennessee. Man, you almost had it there, Tennessee. You almost had the 76, man. Because it will be 1776 again, baby. So, 69% of Texas is supposedly white. 85% of Utah. 93.6% of Vermont is white people. 66.32% of Virginia. 73.53% of Washington State. 92.52% of West Virginia. 84.3% of Wisconsin. 80.35% of Wyoming. That is a hell of a lot of fucking people, man. Even in these small states like Wyoming, they're like 500 something thousand. You literally have the breakdown of race, dude, where it is like almost everybody is white, basically. And the ones that ain't are like 2 or more races. And then it's like a bunch of Native American people. And then a few thousand black people is what it is there. Like black and Asian is almost the same percent there is what it is, dude. 5,242 blacks, 5,046 Asian, 433 Pacific Islander. Yeah, you got more Hispanics in Wyoming than you got black people in Wyoming, dude. That's pretty pathetic, actually. Actually, that kind of makes sense when you think about it logistically, right? Because farmhands, like there'd probably be a lot more Latino farmhands than would be like black farmhands, would be my guess on that one. So, or black ranchers for that matter, even for that matter. So, anyway, I should probably see if the game I play is off of stuff right now. We've been here almost 3 hours now, so I should probably update the title on this, but I can't do it, unfortunately. So we are just going to say violent crime is out of control, and I think we did a pretty good breakdown of why, honestly. You know, when you start breaking down city by city, state by state, etc., there, and you see the population of how it starts to go a weird way, is what it is. So, and then you realize all these kids that people want to call out, don't want to call out, is what it is being the criminals, or you know, the Bianca Ellis types of the world and stuff like that. That, you know, for some reason escalate just petty theft in many cases to fucking first degree legit premeditated murder is what it is there, dude. Like, seriously, like what kind of fucking screws do you have to have loose at that point, dude? And the sad part is, even going back to AK's panel and stuff like that earlier tonight, dude, like, even the other guys on there are just like, they're like, yeah, like what kind, like they're essentially, I think the one guy was almost saying like, what kind of demon is this woman? Basically is what it is, dude. And that's the whole point, right? Like, I feel like she has to have a demon inside of her at this point, bro. Because you can't be that evil to just like stab a little kid like that, dude. Unless you are like seriously like a servant of Satan and you're trying to bring on like the Antichrist or something like that's what it is, man. So I don't know. Like I said, hopefully she'll get hers pretty soon in the prison system there, and you know, somebody will get a bunch of money on their fucking commissary for it. But you know, who knows, man? I wouldn't be surprised by it. I don't know. I think personally, if it was me and I was a chick in that prison system and I knew I was going to go down for something, whatever the case be, like it wouldn't matter what race I am at that point, dude. I'd be like, yeah, you don't do that to kids, bitch. Like 18 times in the fucking shower or something like that, or pretty close to it, or whatever the case be. You know, just like have like somebody spot to make sure there's no guards over the case be, and be like, hey, Bianca, come up here and smoke with us. And then as soon as she walks to the door, it's just like ding, 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 like a bunch of fucking times. So, yeah. And then we all say, like, nobody saw nothing, man. I know what you're talking about. Her blood's not on my shoes, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So, but no, seriously though, man, like, she needs to get her ass Mara Kingstown in that fucking in that prison system, dude. For those know what I'm talking about, it's the first season of Mara Kingstown. There's a dude who I believe he's making meth in the show, is what it is, and he has a son who's in the trailer with him. Whatever the case be, the trailer blows up while he's making the meth. He's apparently not there, though, is what it is, because he went to go get like more supplies to make more meth or whatever it is there or something. And so yeah, this little kid like basically burns to death in the trailer is what it is there. And they let the entire prison system know that this motherfucker's coming in there. And you have between the whites, the blacks, the Latinos, and the Asians, they are either slocking this guy with a bunch of fucking batteries and shit in a tube sock, or it's legitimately just like pulling out shanks and just like stabbing the dude in the fucking stomach a bunch of times is what it is then. And then it's basically at the very end of it, like the guy's just like bleeding to death out on the pavement there, and everybody's like, I didn't see nothing. Like, he just killed himself. Like, I feel like that's what's happened to him, man, honestly, in this Ellis case, man, for real. So, like, it seems to be everybody being like, yeah, you don't fuck with kids like that, bitch. And just have a bunch of real violent fiends in there, just like take care of fucking business in the Cuyahoga County Jail where the hell she's at right now is what it is. So, I don't know, man. Hopefully we'll see her get her. We'll see the family get true justice in this one, and she'll just get a very quick death penalty is what it is in the state of Ohio then. And it'll actually be performed very quickly. And we'll tell her to go fuck herself when it comes to appeals and stuff like that, dude. Because there's no way she's not being found guilty of this thing, dude. There's like way, way more than enough evidence of her obviously, like, you know, following the family to go attack the family, etc., etc. So yeah, there's no way they're not going to get her. Like, it's at this point, I consider this to be basically a signed, sealed, delivered, fucking guilty verdict. It just depends on exactly what the jurors agree upon, if it's going to be life imprisonment or death penalty, etc. There, which they better fucking choose death penalty, man. Because if they don't, I want this shit retried as a fucking firing squad death penalty case. Is what it is then. Because that's what this bitch needs to be fucking getting, dude. She needs to be sent back to hell where she fucking belongs. Is what it is, man. So anyway. But yeah, other than that, though, that's pretty much where we're at for the day. I'll be back probably, I don't know if I'll do anything today or not. Unless Honda doesn't do a chat. And I know Tactical was doing takeovers for NEA because he did do a chat last night either, for that matter. So if Honda's back for the 2A Tuesday, I'll be on his chat. If not, I may or may not do something on this channel. Or if Tactical takes over, I might just be on Tactical's takeover then, if that'd be the case. And then other than that, though, I will be most likely back here, possibly with another Grandstand the next day or so. I'm not sure. But I'll definitely be doing Buckshot Thursday. Buckshot, I'm actually going to set up Buckshot Thursday right now is what it is, as soon as I finish filming this right now. Because we'll be doing our second anniversary of being a 2A organization. I'll go through the whole thing of how I created Ohioans for Firearms Freedom originally in 2021. How we used that to fight for 2A rights in the state. And then eventually, you know, we got constitutional carry. We eventually became Ohio Patriot Education Network as it was then. So I'll go through my whole, you know, thing of not being a gun owner for decades of my life to then eventually being a gun owner, to between the time spent up becoming a gun owner and the time spent up becoming a 2A advocate was like that quick. Basically, it was real fucking fast, dude. Like, it was basically like, becomes gun owner, bunch of assholes try to take my rights and everybody else's rights. Fuck you, not happening. Form 2A rights groups is what it is, dude. Like, it was very quickly, man. Actually, I guess technically the 2A rights group thing came a couple years after that, but yeah, like, between the time of actually getting my first gun and becoming a Second Amendment advocate, and then eventually a constitutionalist / Second Amendment rights fighter and stuff like that, it was basically less than a year turnaround the first case, and then between the 2029 one and now, it was essentially like about a year and a half to 2 years or so, give or take, before we actually had a name for our eventual organization. So it was there, and then obviously the network name for the second organization, what was there, that now became the main anchor org is what it is there. Because I feel like Open is definitely going to be an umbrella organization at some point down the line, especially if I have money where I can actually fight for rights and stuff like that. We would definitely have OFFF be a secondary subsidiary 2A rights group that fights on behalf of like certain things. And then we'd also have, like, obviously if we have money to put in our coffers and stuff like that, DOR, Defenders of Ohioans' Rights, will become a thing, because we'd actually have lawyers on retainers, what it is there, that would work with us to help, you know, we'd have like a case here, a case there kind of thing, where it would be like 1 or 2 cases at a time then. If we could afford them, obviously it's, you know, be depending on if we could afford them or not then. To be able to help people fight for their rights, to be rights restoration stuff is what it is there. So anyway, but and then of course T-Pen, which is obviously Texas Patriot Education Network, which is kind of an off-the-cuff thing that happened earlier this year is what it was, because I was debating moving to Texas for a little bit. There's what it was then, and then I still think we're going to get off the ground is what it is there for real. It's just going to be a little bit of time right now is what it'll be. It'll probably be closer to like sometime in 2025 when it actually kicks off then for real, because I'm trying to get a couple people to jump on that then. It's mostly going to be the guys that live in Texas that I know, or people that they would know maybe as being like the chapter heads and shit like that for that. And my thing would basically be, hey, you know, here's kind of a blueprint of how to do this shit kind of deal. You know, like, here's what actually works, here's what doesn't kind of work. And then essentially just like hand them the reins is what it'll be. And they'll be the leadership team on the ground there in Texas for for T-Pen is what it is then. So, and then obviously I would have them coordinate with me on occasion to be like, okay, how's things going over there right now? Like, do you guys have anything coming up that's like, anti-2A and stuff like that I need to know about here and stuff like that? And then, of course, I would report on here on this page or one of the other YouTube channels, what it is then. And then, of course, on our X page as well, for that matter. I'd talk about it there as well, for that matter. So, but anyway. Other than that, though, it's been fun. It's been real. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Always be carrying. Always be armed with multiple tools of the trade, because there's going to be times where you're going to need a knife, people, legitimately. You may have to cut loose something, or, you may have to cut somebody's seatbelt free or something like that's what it is, or something in a car crash or whatever the case be, And you might need something sharp to be able to cut through that, man. You never know, dude. So it's silly not carry a knife, honestly. Just like it's silly here in 2020 to carry pepper spray is what it is, dude. And I'm very glad somebody sent me some of that, because I've been carrying it every time I go out now, because you never know, dude. Again, it's, dogs can be fucking crazy, dude. You can have some crazy ass dog off leash that somebody let loose or whatever the case be that's coming after you. You might need to give it a little zip is what it is there. So, or even that same vein of things, like in this case with Bianca Ellis and stuff like that, dude. Had Margot Wood realized that she was being followed, she could have pulled some mace out of her purse or whatever the case be and been like, shh, and fuck that bitch up long enough to at least knock the fucking knife out of her hand. And then by then, maybe have people come running then and help her out then. And they could have restrained Ellis on the ground. That's what it is, dude. And Julie would maybe still be alive today is what it is then. So, yeah, really it's just, coulda, woulda, shoulda kind of things on those ones. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, a little boy lost his life because some piece of shit wanted to kill somebody that day. And she needs to die for it, is what it is in the story. It's really simple as that, dude. Bianca Ellis needs to get the death penalty here in Ohio. And she needs to be literally feeling the exact same pain that Julian felt that day. So, anyway. Have a good one, y'all. Peace out.